WIFTV-PM.
Maze Jackson.
If you could make up a social media holiday, what would it be?
Randy said National Don't Let No One Put You Down Day.
No one. What you gonna do? So when they say something crazy, you slap them?
Be like me said. Remy said a Juke-a-thon Day.
Man, we about 60 years old. I be done had a heart
You
attack.
gotta get your heart rate up.
Okay, not that far.
All right, Mario said my favorite one. My friends and I do what we call National Call Off from Work Day.
As a business owner, I don't.
You don't like that, yeah.
I don't like that one.
Because I'm the boss of this family.
We got Marcus Garvey Day from Remy too.
Oh, Marcus Garvey Day. All right, what will we do on Marcus Garvey Day?
Call off from work.
I'm gonna need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. That would be great. Okay?
Yeah, right.
What? Every black holiday has something to do with calling off from work.
You're cool. I'm out.
How about National Join a Positive Black Organization Day? Because I don't want to be recruiting. I don't want to be recruiting and the brothers be like, thank you. Thank you. How about National Tell White People the Truth Day? Tell them how you really feel.
You can't handle the truth.
Why don't we call that National Black People Get Locked Up Day?
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Hello.
The most dangerous show in the morning.
With the longtime 34th Ward turning into the 21st Ward, there's only one clear choice for your next alderman of the 21st Ward, Cornel Dantzler. If you live in the 34th Ward, which is now the 21st Ward, vote for Cornel Dantzler in the upcoming election to represent your ward as alderman.
We will work together as a family and as a team so that we can make the 21st Ward one of the best wards in the city of Chicago. Thank you.
Punch 51 for Cornel Dantzler.
Why not Willie Wilson for mayor of Chicago? The criminals won't like Willie Wilson in the mayor's office. Fighting crime is Willie Wilson's first priority. Willie Wilson is ready to take on the criminals. Finally, Chicago, do it right. Willie Wilson for mayor.
This is Monster Jam! See the legendary Gravedigger and more tear up the dirt with massive stunts, all-out racing, and crazy skills. It's adrenaline-charged fun for the whole family.
Let's hear it! Make some noise!
Monster Jam, as big as it gets. Coming to Allstate Arena March 3rd through 5th. Brought to you by BKT Tires. You have to see it live, so lock in your seats at monsterjam.com.
Over 25 years ago, Patrick Brutus decided that serving the public was the best way to help his community. And since then, he has been a dependable and trustworthy friend to all. Now, by fighting for safe and walkable streets, new businesses, and retail corridors, Patrick Brutus has the right vision and the most experience to lead the 6th Ward. On Election Day, punch 53 for Patrick Brutus because he's our choice for alderman of the 6th Ward.
My name is Chris Levy, and I'm working hard to become your next 5th Ward alderman. As a lifelong Chicagoan, I chose the historic 5th Ward as my home and a place to raise my family. This means I have a vested interest in our safety and prosperity. But we need a change, and I'm the best candidate for the job. I'm not a career politician, but a motivated citizen who cares and will do whatever it takes to restore our community to greatness. My name is Chris Levy, and I want to drive change. Please punch 60 and vote for me for 5th Ward Alderman. My name is Chris Levy, and I approve this message.
Loving you has always been easy, because it's true. Yeah. I wouldn't have believed if someone would have told me you would come along to reveal my soul, cause I was done with love, my heart had grown cold. You had good energy, exactly what I needed. You walked in my life and placed the joy where was needed. Not a mirage, what I feel for you. Put that on God, girl, I'm loving you. Said it's easy. It's easy to love. Easy to love. Said it's easy. It's easy to love. Easy to love. Oh yeah. Loving you has has always been easy.
WIIFTBPM.
Uh-oh, what's in it for the black people?
You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Ty Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah. Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. Enough to seal carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Wake up, Chicago! Uh-oh. Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson, on this Friday. It's Friday, y'all. Means it's time for us to get cracking. Crack-a-lacking in the building. I think we got some heat on in this joint. So it looks like it's going to be a good day today. Now, I'm going to tell y'all what. It is, actually, it's the next to the last day. But I think we're going to broadcast on Monday and Tuesday from the joint. Because, I think on Tuesday we're going to have a stop-in. Like, if you're running around, you're trying to make it happen, you're trying to get your last pop on, we're going to be like, the studio, the broadcast is live and open. So when the people on their way to 95th and the Dan Ryan, because that's what they usually do, right? Election day, you go to 95th and the Dan Ryan, you be by the L's and stops like that. We're going to be open, but I'm going to tell you, we are live, broadcasting live from Obsidian, OBSIDIAN, right here on this Friday, February 24th. Now, wait, is this leap year? 28, 24, 25. The 28th is the election day, right? So then, is there a day after? Is it the 29th? Or is it the 1st? You would have figured they would have had some consistency. Is there like a trick to this? Like, is it a way when you know which year is the leap year? I don't know. You know what the leap year?
Every 4 years.
Well, I know that, but where does the 4 years start? So does it start like in...
It's election year to make it easier for you. Just think about when you got to elect the president, sleep year. So like next year, we got to elect the president. It's 2024.
Oh, so the 4s of every 4 and then 8.
There's no 8, which I don't know what the 8 is for. But just 4.
No.
Every 4 years is a leap
So
year.
4 years from 2024 would be 2028.
Yeah, right. Yeah, 4, 8, 32, 36, 40. Every 4 years. So
Got it. So a multiple of 4.
Yeah.
Well, you got to go past the elected president. Well, no, actually, that is right.
Every 4 years. It's just he doesn't get sworn in until the following year.
Look at that. You learn something new every day. The presidential election, I think it might be easier to be 4, 6, 8, 12. I mean, not 6. 4, 8, 12. Dang, y'all got me acting like I'm from, like I went to Prosser or something. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48, 52. All right, 52. 2052. If I'm at the election in 2052, I want to be at the 2052 election. What's that? This is 20, 30 years? I can make that. Stop what y'all talking about. Don't be trying to shorten my summers up around this mug. Look, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson, on this Friday, the 24th. Broadcasting live. We got the velvet ropes up. You know you got to put the velvet ropes up, but you know out west, they don't be caring about you. They, man, bust your road. Don't tell me. So you know we got the west side coming in the building. We got Beatrice Boyce. You know Creative Scott coming in this mug. You know Creative be busting them things. You know he got the, him and Twister is concealed carry partners. They teach concealed carry classes. Hey, we got a gun sign on the door? We got to get a gun sign on the door. Only guns up in this month. Well. All right, y'all. So how y'all feeling this morning on this Friday? You know what? I came in with a better spirit because it wasn't cold when I walked in the door. Like the other days I be walking in here be like, bruh, 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 bruh. They was on there. I know. I just didn't want to be embarrassed tonight with David Moore's birthday party coming here. David Moore coming here. Y'all ain't got no heat. You know, I ain't want to have to run the cord out the door, down the block to the shoe time. Be like, hey, or to the dialysis center and be like, I was trying to figure out what are going to be the heat tricks. How you play it off if you ain't got no heat on in the joint. But thankful the landlord was on it yesterday. Shout out to Big Swill, who was running around the place all day yesterday just trying to make sure that the heat was on so that when y'all come through here tonight, or if you come here this morning, because you know, Riis, it was funny. We had people sitting in here and we was trying to play it off. Like, you know, they was cold in here. I was like, what y'all cold? Y'all just must be nervous. I ain't want to tell them the heat wasn't on. And we paid the bill. So don't start. Although this new global warming has screwed up my bill paying habits. Because remember, it used to be 3 consecutive days it had to be warm before they could turn your heat off. Every other day it's 50 degrees.
I can't turn it off until after March 31st.
I thought it was March 31st or 3 consecutive days of less than.
I think they took that away. It's just they can't turn your heat off in the winter. So until the winter is over, they can cut it off after that. You good.
Oh. See, once again, the hacker. DJ Riis, life hacks.
I mean, you really good. I mean, you really
Riis
good.
got hood hacks.
Send you the pink letter. You really good.
I hate the pink letter. You know, you can see the pink letter in the mail. You can see it around the edge. It be like, it's red when you open it. It's pink when you looking through the paper. Then the orange one too, right? The orange, the pink. You know what? Can I be honest with you? I'm so grateful. In the last years, I have not had to wait it out. Although, I have been tempted twice. Even though that's the Carrie bill. She be paying that bill, so I don't trip. That's why she be walking around the house like, turn the heat out.
Don't they gotta? I remember. Don't they gotta come and turn your little heat at the little thing, and then
they don't gotta do that no more, Joe.
Yeah, I remember back in the day when they used to do that. I used to let my dogs out. Yeah.
Oh, you let your dogs out there?
Yeah.
Nah, dog. Now you know they got the power grid. Now they turn it off. You know how you used to get your power turned off and it take 3 days for them to come back or something? You had the hack. You had a hack too on that too, Riis?
No, we just use the extension cord.
Okay, so 3 days. Hey man, now they cut your joint off. You like, what's going on? They be like, send that money. It'll be on in about 20 minutes.
Nah, and that's what I'm saying. No, be on a couple of hours. Like you got my money. Turn my lights on.
Oh.
But just play a little bit. Just play a little bit.
Oh. Did you get on the payment plan? I used to have all type of. I had a different. When I lived in college, I had a different. Oh, well, let me stop.
Different name.
I
got my cousins. My cousins, they probably had over 10 different names in their house bills, and they go, yeah, it's crazy.
Y'all remember when y'all had to pay a phone bill? Like, I mean, you still got to pay a phone bill, but I'm talking about the bill that came in for the phone that rang in the house.
I never paid a phone bill.
Oh, I had to pay the phone bill. I used to, man, Joe, the phone bill used to be something else too. Now that phone bill, Illinois bill, you could come up with you could make up a social security number, you could make up everything. They'll start you all over. Now all of a sudden they can verify everything. Back in the day, boy, like I remember when the credit card used to be the zh, and it would be that piece of paper, and they didn't know if you had it or not. I told you about that time when first time they swiped it on me, and I was like, "What's that?" And they were like, and then the guy called back to me. He said, "They told us to hold your card. Man, if you don't give me my card," they was like, "We hold your card." Me and my ship jumped in the car and got on the expressway.
I'm like, "Sir, they didn't tell you the rest?" They'd be like, "What, sir?" I'm like, "Hold his ass whooping if you don't give my card to you."
Now, see, they had the glass, though. He had the glass. He look, so he had it on the thing like this card. Man, if I get back there. Then I was thinking like, wait, they were like, but they said, hold your card and wait right here. I was like, wait right here? That don't even sound right. Who you go? Somebody coming?
What they was gonna do, the card police?
Hey, man, I think back in the day, they did. I feel like they was like, they literally said, hold the card and have him wait.
Who was coming? That's all. I don't believe it.
Okay.
I see.
Bolingbrook, Riis, you. This 19, but this Bolingbrook, bro. And I'm gonna say this.
You know what? Bolingbrook might have come. Yeah.
That's like the check.
They probably had jaywalking on there. I never forget. I went to school and like the person that made the top 10 most wanted was a jaywalker. It's crazy. Wasting taxpayers' dollars like that.
Crossing the street. That's that Eastern Illinois University for you. All right, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. You already been talking, so let me go ahead and ask him what's up. What's up, DJ Riis the Ruler? Hey, Joe. Femo. Hey, Harold. Nah, dog.
I like
Harold.
it. I like it.
You can't put that joint in my shot. I hear you, but you can't gonna put it in my shot.
Hey,
you gotta pay for that. Hold on. I hear you.
I've been saying that though. I was looking like, yo, if I was somebody, I'd have me some people team with some shirts on.
See, that's what I would have did. I did that, but Harold.
I would have put that right there.
Get that out of my shot, man. You can't do that. You can't just be putting it up in my shot. Now, how you gonna just take up y'all ain't gonna advertise? Y'all gonna advertise on the show? When you gonna do it? When? Cause it's you advertising today? Cause it's only 4 days left. Now, see how people do you?
It was smart though.
I hear you. It was smart till I saw it in my shot.
I saw all them signs. I'm like, yo, man, they smart, man.
Look, see, don't make your shot get cursed out. Don't make me curse your candidate out before the show start.
I
thought it was clever too. I would have did the same thing. Let me tell you what I would have did. I would have had people with signs. Man, I would have just been holding it.
I thought the same thing too. I would have had some people come through.
Man, I would have took all these seats right here.
They'd have been like this. They'd have had some signs on up through the whole.
I've been sitting here like this the whole show. Excuse me, them 8 chairs, you wouldn't have beat me for nothing. Hey, see, Riis, they ain't got no promotions back there. They ain't had to hustle. They ain't had to make them ticket sales.
I've been seeing. I look in the back. I'm like, man, somebody put their thing up there.
Now, for a small fee, I'll let you put it up there. Right? Like, that's prime real estate today. You know, we got high viewership and everything. All right, y'all, this DJ Riis the Ruler on the ones and twos. DJ Riis the Ruler. How you feeling today?
I'm blessed by the best, but I'm tired, boss.
I'm clear.
I'm tired.
Yes, I can see. He's tired, boss.
I had triple duty. Yeah,
You had to work 3 jobs?
I had to go be a father and do a project after I got home. Yeah,
man, I'm so glad them days is over. The project days, the days of the project.
We had to create
wait. So let me ask a question.
Do you do the
project? Do you do the project?
Nah, you know.
You ever be looking at the kid like, you ain't gonna turn that in with my name on it?
No, I don't do it, but I showed her and we was doing the iPad and she saw me. I did the first, like, we had to make a album cover with like 5 pictures.
Do the kids even know what an album cover is these days?
Nah, they didn't know what an album cover is. So I had like a help out, and then after she see me do it, then she did it. she for sure did it. But yeah, so yeah, man. Then I got a long today. My long day. Probably don't make it home about 12. I was like, man, I leave the house, it's dark. I get home, it's dark.
Hey, man, it's like slavery, dog. They like sun up to sun up. That's what you had to work to.
I was like, man, it's dark when I leave. When I make it in, it's dark again.
Then you walk out the door, it be dark.
Dark. I'm trying to tell you, dark.
Please tell me they got windows in the back, so at least you can see the daylight.
Well, you can see it, but yeah. So and then like
smoke
the back
clouded
door,
up,
and then like the back door be open a little bit.
What song you sing last night?
So first of all, I sung. I usually don't do it twice in a row, but it was a lot. It was a lot of people there, so I sung Lenny, "Cause I Love You." Yeah, I can't sing. Listen, I can't sing a lick. I'm gonna perform the hell out the song. I can't sing it, but listen to me. I always get a standing ovation. Always. And then I don't know what it is, but for some reason older women like talking to me. So like this older woman, she's like, "Baby, can you sing Fire and Desire with me?"
Did you do it?
Yeah, I'm Riis the Ruler. Of course I did. What you mean? You know how like the song part of the songs come out. She was like reaching her hand out.
Did you grab her hand?
Yeah, I'm Riis the Ruler. Come on, why wouldn't I do that?
That's funny.
But yeah, it was cool, man. It was cool.
All right, man. So that was DJ Riis the Ruler at both fields. They had they karaoke, and I can't think of what the title was, but I did see it. I seen it on Devo's page. So y'all check out both fields, 152nd and Cicero. That's my man DJ Riis the Ruler in the building. He's tired, boss. I'm a little energetic. I got my client coming in. We may have a visitor today. You ain't got the sneak. Why you ain't got the sneak? And Harold, I know I cursed you out, man, but at 6:30 we'll open up the room. I believe in what Richard Wooten say? Early bird get the worm. Richard Wooten said he putting his signs down. He taking everybody joint. Get your little sign. I'll leave you a little space for your little sign.
He never said he took it. He just said that. At the end, he just said he just removed his sign.
He removed all the signs.
He never.
He just don't put yours back.
He could, but that let you guys know that Wooten is a man for the community. He believes in not littering. So
look, I got Riis up. Litter removal. I'm telling you, put it on. I'm keeping the ward clean. Do not litter it with these recyclable signs. Look, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. My man, DJ Riis the Ruler. Riis, let's get the soul plane up to 60,000 feet. Let's get this bad boy up and away. Riis, we got to fly. Oh, hey. It's the final campaign weekend. Couple things. Did you realize that Cam Buckner's campaign office was a few doors down? Nah. So Cam Buckner's campaign, I was looking at his emails yesterday. He got an email with his dog, right? The campaign got an official dog, and the dog was down the street. And I'm looking like, this look familiar. Riis, Cam right down the street. He don't even walk down here and say, "What's up?"
That's how I felt about when I found out that Congressman Jackson was in the same building as us. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. But he wasn't. Oh, you didn't know that?
I mean, until I went outside to start my car. And saw all the pictures in the window. But
he did stop through, though. He did stop through. So he stopped through. But you right.
Like, yeah, I come. I got to go there. I'm just going to go downstairs when I'm done.
So should I feel a certain way that the mayor came over here yesterday?
The mayor came over here?
So first of all, I think it's super. So it's either super gangster or super petty. That the mayor came over here and she went to Seafood Junction. Riis, she posted, I'm at 5401 South Wentworth, Unit 4W. Like, she literally was right across the way looking. Like, you think she was thinking, what you do if the mayor just come walking in here like, I'd be like, sit on down. Let's have a conversation. So I want to point out in the newspaper today, they mentioned that she was the first openly LGBTQ mayor and second woman. Guess what they did not mention?
She's black.
Yep. I hope she call up them and be like, excuse me, I am a black woman. Get it together. But it's the final weekend, Riis, so it means like everybody, see, that's why you see Harold out here acting thirsty. It's the last weekend, man. It's like this the last chance to get your votes. So we're going to see what's going on the final countdown. The What's in It for the Black People endorsements are out. If you want to see them, you can catch them in Chicago News Weekly. Few surprises in there, Reese. I might read them out a little bit later. But yeah, we announced the What's in It for the. This is the first time, guys. I just want to point out this is the first time that this was a collaborative effort by the organization. It wasn't just my ideas this time. Hey man, I don't appreciate when they outvote me neither. Like I kind of liked it when it was more of a dictatorship. Now we got this democracy going on, so they be like, "No, I don't like this person. I like this person." I will tell you that these debates changed up some stuff though.
It did for me. I'm not gonna, especially in the fifth. You know, in the fifth, I'm actually, was a couple of.
Fifth was tough. That was a hard one.
Is that that's
yep.
So I got to be honest with you, I like Chris is how you like
Chris family man.
So it's kind of it's
tough.
Chris
it was tough.
Family. What is it? It started with a Y. Yancy, how you say his last name?
Yancey.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yancey, and the only reason why because my
Desmond Yancey.
Yeah, and my frat is actually his campaign manager, so I'm running it. So that's not, that's
So I was like, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I love to see him win, because my frat been, doing this campaign, so he need kind of like a W right now. So, but out of all them in there, man, Kirby surprised me, man. I really do think that if the ward is left in his hands, I think it'd be good.
Okay, wait, was that 6? That was the 6th ward. Kirby was in the 6th ward. Remember, because Patrick was like, "Why are you being so mean to me?
You're right. So
why are you so mean to me all the time, Kirby?"
Well, the 6th ward though, it's some more frat in there. So like I said, no disrespect to the frat, but 6th ward, I thought Kirby was pretty good.
So 6th ward, we Tavares is a member of What's in It for the Black People. So and that's your frat brother too.
Yeah.
Right?
Him and Patrick Brutus crossed together. I didn't know that.
No, they didn't.
That's what I was told.
Patrick Brutus is alpha? No, Patrick Brutus.
Yes, he is. They both just crossed in November.
Not a Tavares.
Yes,
Tavares been an alpha.
That ain't what I just heard from somebody that was at the.
Patrick Brutus is not an alpha. If Patrick Brutus is an alpha, what? Patrick, if you an alpha,
I just grip. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was. I'm pretty
Patrick
sure.
is the tall, dark skin that said, "Kirby, why you being so mean to me?"
Oh, then it's not Patrick. It's I'm sorry. Patrick. See,
Tavares.
He was with he was in the 6th ward too. It'll come to me. But yeah, no.
Okay, I was about to say, man, if Patrick snuck in and became, I don't know if that. I was like, all right, I think I might have seen him in some other places. So I was just curious to know. But anyway, the What's in It for the Black People endorsements are out. So get your Chicago News Weekly. I'll post them a little bit later on today. 5th ward was tough. 6th ward was tough. I don't like getting outvoted in my own joint, but I got outvoted. So, look, I'm happy for all the candidates. I think the only thing I got a challenge with Desmond, because a lot of my frat brothers are supporting him too, is the fact that, I don't think he gave a credible answer as to why he doesn't live in the ward. Now, to me, they didn't catch it, so that's on y'all. But I do think that speaks volumes, and I'm not tripping on him. It's like a lot of people are supporting him. I am always leery of the candidates that are SEI, well, let me say, that are backed by the socialist stuff. So I'm curious about that, but we'll see. It's a lot going on. But I'll tell you what, did you see they had an ad? They was like, they put out a newspaper ad, Reese, that said anybody vote for any one of us but Desmond. They put a whole ad in the paper. You saw they was fighting about it. You didn't remember a girl over here like, you don't get to say anything because you didn't. I was like, damn. It was a little cracking in the 5th ward though. That was a little cracker. Not cracker, cracking.
At the top, I guess he feel, man.
Huh?
I guess he said it's hard to be at the top.
Hey, guess what? Hey,
man, to me, when it take all 5-6 y'all to sign that, I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm doing something. I got you a little shook. I got y'all collaborating.
Yeah, I think one of the challenges for a lot of people is that there is no, like in the in the Fifth Ward and in a lot of these races, there's no established political organization. And so essentially the labor unions can come in and dominate the space. And so again, once labor picks you, right, then they put 100,000, 150,000 behind you, right? You want to get picked, but if you don't get picked, then you be like, damn.
Salty.
Salty?
Man, now you want to go and say he being bought. It's the machine.
It's a new machine, though.
It's the machine.
The machine blows me, though. When they be like the machine, I be like, hey, y'all, just so we're clear, it ain't no machine. Now, the unions, they got a new type of machine that they building. It's like they ain't even doing a machine. They just like, we'll just steamroll y'all because y'all ain't got no infrastructure.
He gave a good answer, though, Beyond. I mean, why don't you feel like he gave a good enough answer? He just got a divorce, so he got a divorce. I never had a divorce, but I'm pretty sure that his address was still tied to his address out there. It was COVID. He could have been home training his school. I mean, he was training his kids. I mean, teaching his kids. So he's there. It's 2020. I'm already probably got mail still coming here, so I can vote here.
So the rule is not you can't vote there. The rule is that you have to live there a year in advance. I'm not here. I didn't verify it. And I, like, again, to me, that like all of that, like I'm not here to debate that anymore because y'all didn't get it in the time when you could have got it, right? Y'all could have challenged that, and that's a fault of your attorney. Now, me, Mays Jackson, looking at it from a distance, I would have been like, hold on, how we going to let that happen? But the fact that they let it happen, that's on you now, right? And it's like you open up the space. But I do feel like it was a little, And
then the next day we had the other guy, Wooten, they said he got mapped out and they didn't even know that. They said, you don't live in a ward. Said,
I feel like it's a lot of people.
I did.
They looking for gotchas instead of doing the work. But the part that I feel like I've been watching on all of the campaigns is there seems to be this, like, all the stuff that happened to people during the Madigan era. Like, they trying to use it and be like, gotcha now, but they ain't got the skill set to necessarily do it, right? Like, if you going to whoop somebody on a residency challenge, you got to have an attorney that can do that, right? I feel like in a lot of this, there's a lot of anti instead of me, what I'm going to do. They like, and so that's kind of what I saw in the space. I'm going to tell you who impressed me in the Fifth Ward. Honestly, the mixed lady.
That lady was black.
Huh? Right. Okay. But she said she made sure but Tina Hone, and it's like, and she worked for the mayor, and I wanted to dislike her, but she was like on it, Joe. And then you look at her credentials, it was like, well, damn. So I like the Tina Hone. Chris the Critic is family. So it's like, that's one of them hard ones when it's like, what you tell your cousin when you be like, cuz.
Tina Hone, like she can fit in all places.
Right. she can be an operative for us.
If she never said that she black, though, I mean,
she'll be sitting in the room
like, sitting in the room like
telling on your ass.
Yeah.
Those damn colors. Look what they get right to y'all. That's what. Now, Tamiko said that she's kind of snapped at the. It's kind of funny, Riis, because you know how you just be wanting to dislike somebody. Yeah. But you can't. She made it hard to dislike her.
Yeah, she was pretty good.
Yeah. So anyway, man, we done talked about all the people on the races. So y'all go to Chicago News Weekly and pick up your edition, and we will later on this weekend release the endorsements.
Who did you pick? So we had the Fourth Ward in here, right? It was the fourth first.
Fourth Ward. Yep.
Who you pick out of there? Family again, Tracy Bay.
Tracy Bay.
Okay. So the Fifth Ward you going with? As you call it, what's her name?
Miss Mixed.
Miss Mix, I'm not with you. That is
Miss Mix.
That is not where he said. Don't send me that one.
Miss Mix. You don't like Miss Mix?
To my less melon queen.
My less melanated queen.
To my less melanated queen. That's what you got.
What about Gabe? Right.
I mean,
I just I can't do the Eminem thing right now. I mean, it's crazy to me that the white guy is the one talking about the reparations.
I know. I'm
just saying. Then it's just tough. So then the Sixth Ward, it's Tavares. So it's because Tavares is a member. So as a member of What's in It for the Black People, right? Okay. Howard, you put the people in the organization. They gotta Like if I'm an active, like it's like if the alphas did an endorsement,
right,
and you are an alpha running, you automatically get the endorsement,
gotcha.
right? So those people like Dre, Dre shoot, he was the only one here. Okay, I got so many phone calls from people who was like, "Oh, you was with the shits yesterday, right?" Dre, look, and Riis, hold on, let me tell y'all about hypocritical ass Riis in the comments. Now y'all know if somebody white would have done that, we'd have been mad. Riis, how come you was cracking? Riis, you had more cracks. Riis, you had more cracks in the comments. You was like, look, you was like, y'all shouldn't do this. By the way,
I was just describing how the picture looked like. That's all I did.
Riis. You was as I told Erica yesterday, if you grin, you in. Riis, you was laughing. You was participating.
But it was like, you know how you with your family, you know how they like, you know, I could do it, but you know what I'm saying? It was more, but I did think sometimes like that it do give other races a free pass. And then it was kind of like on this show, you really went on and found some pictures, and I was just like, really, you know, because we seen what happened when they found pictures of another person on this show and used them.
Who, me?
I'm talking about, you know, like how they used the picture of you. So I was looking like, dang, he just came up here, used some pictures, and they want the best pictures, especially the Miss Taylor. Like, come on, man, like we can't represent our black queens. Like the one on the left was all right. It was all right. Even though it looked like she was just getting out of the Orange is the New Black. It looked like she was definitely.
She had them lines.
It was definitely like she was.
You think he planned it that way?
Nah, but you know, you kind of saw what was happening when he had. But but that's all I was saying. Yes, you know. But I'm
just telling you had a lot of jokes in the comments.
I'm just saying.
You grin, you in. Like you gotta stick with it. How you say, Riis? You gotta keep that same energy. That moment when you say no, I'm not with this, you should have lodged the protest. You should have said, right now, gentlemen, I am don't stand up for the black queens from the back. Stand up in the front. Now, I didn't have nothing to do with this, right? I offered up the open spots. I hope that everybody would come. I did get a lot of comments yesterday on that. It was... So, look, man.
Double-sided, right? It probably was a double-sided response.
No, most people was like, that was funny.
It was. It definitely was. But I just... Like, if you really think about it, like, and like hindsight, man, that's why they get the little free pass. Like, you know, if they'd do it to their own sisters, then, you know... We'd do it, you know, because if it wasn't not a black person that did that, we would have flipped out. Tell me I'm lying. Gabe come in here with them two pictures.
If he came in with two other pictures
of them two exact pictures, tell me.
We had to put Gabe out. We had to put Gabe out.
That's what I'm saying.
Gabe, you got to go. You got to go. Gabe, you can't stay here with that. I'm sorry, fam. You cannot stay here with those pictures.
That's all I was saying, Gabe. I'll just use that as an example, but that's all I was just saying. That's all. But to the black people, like, you know, it's like black fun, black humor, and all that. But, you know, I just wanted to let that be known. Like, all right, like, we could do it. We could. It was funny, but, you know.
I'm just saying. This is how I feel at this point. Y'all done used everything on me, so it is what it is. I thought. Let me just say this. I thought it was creative.
It was.
I thought it was very funny.
When he talked to him.
When he leaned over and was like, nah, she said.
Nah. You want to say something? Nah.
Oh, God. All right, y'all. So, thumbs up and thumbs down. Was it a bad thing or was it a funny thing? I feel like, I thought it was fun. I feel like sometimes we take ourselves so seriously.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
We be in Wakanda. We be like, the militancy of the black people are the bars, blah, blah, blah. White people, let me just be clear. You cannot do that. I'm just telling you. White people, I want to be clear. You cannot do it, right? Just like you be tempted to say, can I use the ER? No, you can't. No, you can't.
Ain't neither. That's all I was just saying. As long as we got that clear, like it was.
White people, if I catch you, we coming to see you.
It was like us. It was like us. You know what I'm saying? It was like us. Like, you can't pick on my family. I'll fight my cousin. But if you fight my cousin, I'm gonna fight you.
That's
and
all
then
I'm
me
saying.
and my cousin,
we'll fight after. We'll finish it.
Right. But you
ain't doing it.
You know, that's all I want to say. It was very funny. I enjoyed it, man. Smart tactic and everything. But you know.
All right. So I just that was. When he came with the bag, though, I was like, I knew what he was getting ready to do. I just didn't know he was getting ready to go like that.
When I saw the things, I was like, I already know it.
Okay, R. Kelly. Okay, let me just say this. The man got 30 years. Y'all called and said y'all wanted to give him another 25. He ain't get. They was like, when he gets out at 82, he will not have the ability. He will not be able to lure the young women and sex. Y'all was gonna try and give him another 25. They did, and they didn't want it concurrent. They wanted it consecutive. So when he got out, now that what they did do was add another year. So you know when you got 25,
19. Yeah, he had 20. 19 was.
And then one he got to serve separate.
Yeah, he got to serve.
So like when he get his 19 in and think you got one more to go, famo.
Yeah, well, you know, I think he got to. So they said that's his projection, 82.
80 something.
Yeah, I hope he make it, man. Let me let you know. I want you. That ain't gonna stop him.
Sorry, Mr. Big.
He gonna come out and sing another song and gonna hire him some little 20-year-olds, man. People can love R. Kelly forever, man. Forever. Forever. But I just really hope that he doesn't die in jail, man. I don't wish that on nobody, man. It's a lot of years.
I don't wish no ill will on nobody, so to each his own. I got my own problems to worry about. So, but I did think it was kind of crazy. They was like, we want to get him again. They was like, we do not want no Bill Cosby action. He is not getting out. I told y'all the mayor was in the mall. Don't forget tonight, David Moore, birthday party, right here at Obsidian. Did you get your tickets? If you have not gotten your tickets, you are not going to want to miss it. He got videos. He got all type of people coming through right here in Obsidian tonight. Do not miss Alderman David Moore, 17th Ward Alderman David Moore. Alderman, the first alderman to say what's in it for the black people live on the city council floor is going to be celebrating his birthday here tonight. So y'all make sure y'all come on through and check him out at Obsidian. If you got questions, just hit me up. All right, inbox me or reach out. AFSCME threatens to strike. Riis, it's 3 days to election. How they talking about if the mayor don't do what they say today, they striking tomorrow.
I don't know who this company is, but them, you know how
AFSCME is the biggest employees union. It's the American federal, state, municipal employees. So it's all the people who work for the city.
You're finna get transferred or like a new job in a couple of days.
Like, you finna do what y'all want to do. Like, hey, y'all want to work? Don't work. I don't care.
I don't even know if I'm gonna be. I don't even know if I'm gonna, like, a prime example of when you was finna go work at GCI. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know if I'm gonna be here. To be honest with y'all, in 3 days, you gonna send me. I better do something. Don't worry about this election. You know what I'm saying?
But she keeping hope alive. She like, dang. Think about it though. Like if you go to City Hall and you still got to vote and you can't get nothing done, they like, we striking because we don't like the mayor. You gonna be like, you mean I can't get my city sticker today? You mean I got a boot on my car and I can't get it off because the mayor ain't? Hey Joe.
Don't forget, if y'all do not want boots, y'all know that Jamal Green will remove boots. See?
He ain't got no. Okay, let me stop. Shout out to Jamal Green. Shout out to all of the tier 2 candidates. Like the candidates, the candidates that are not on TV are tier 2. Okay. That's fair, right? Like I know everybody want a participation trophy, but if you are not on TV at this point, you got a very low chance of winning.
You know, I'm just real interested. Do you think that TV will always be?
Yes.
Even like 50 years from now?
No, maybe not 50 years. I think it'll be Hulu. But I think all of the once they master the streaming, then it will move there.
You're right. Then
so it's like, I mean, it's like right now.
It'll still be TV.
It'll still be TV and just be on
your.
Right? Like when you watch ESPN, like YouTube TV, when you watch YouTube TV, they don't put on commercials if they haven't paid for it. So now what TV stations are doing is now adding another component of it, right? So like you see a lot of people, like JB had mastered YouTube ads. Like right now people don't have the money to do the breadth and width, but as people continue to cut the cord, they'll start to offer the packages. Like when you go to Comcast now, they offer you a package and then they say for an extra $1,000, we'll run them during the streaming content. So I think broadcast media will always be, it's just the form that broadcast media takes because you hit the most people, right? It's just the most people. And most people are not informed voters. They're not going to read a guide. They're going to look at the commercials that they see the most and they're going to assume. Pritzker vows to keep Ron DeSantis out of the White House. I'm like, man, ain't Ron DeSantis in Florida? Ain't you the governor? What you worried about the White House for? Because he's running for president. That's why. And today, don't forget, the last chance candidate debates. Riis, I'm going to take a break now. We're going to hit the social media question of the day, but we're also going to get ready for the candidates to get here. All right, now let me tell y'all what. To the candidates, if they on the other side now, y'all are now officially welcomed into the studio where you can put your signs. Don't put nothing on my walls, damn it. Don't you put no tape on my walls, but y'all can come on in here. Riis, some days I be wanting to be with the candidates and be like, y'all missed this. Y'all ain't do this. Harold, though, Harold was slick. I looked up, I'm like.
I saw that. I was like, man, that'd be a good shot to really, have it in there.
Yeah, I know. I'd be like, if y'all ain't, Riis, should I ask them all, did they advertise? What black media outlets did they advertise on?
I hope they said, I hope it's none if they ain't do it with us yet.
Look at DJ Riis. Don't be giving them the answers to the test. Look, y'all, it's the Maze Jackson Show. Get ready. We're gonna come back. Riis gonna hit us a quick break. We're gonna come back, and then at 7:00 we're gonna begin the last chance candidate debates. West Side, hey y'all, West Side out south right now, representing for the West Side. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break. Maze Jackson.
Tune in to the Maze Jackson Show every day, Monday through Friday from 6 to 9 a.m., where you can catch us on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook Live. Plus, from 6:30 to 8, you can get us on WBGX 1570 a.m. That's right, it's the Maze Jackson Show, where every single day we ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, we out of here. Peace.
This is Monster Jam! See the legendary Gravedigger and more tear up the dirt with massive stunts, all-out racing, and crazy skills. It's adrenaline-charged fun for the whole family.
Let's hear it! Make some noise!
Monster Jam, as big as it gets. Coming to Allstate Arena March 3rd through 5th. Brought to you by BKT Tires. You have to see it live, so lock in your seats at monsterjam.com.
We can count on Paul Vallis. When Paul Vallis was CEO of Chicago Public Schools, he revitalized our neighborhood schools. No one delivered more for our underserved young people than Paul Vallis. As mayor, Paul Vallis will ensure that communities long neglected get a fair share of city investment, attracting the grocery stores we need, improving sanitation, and other city services in our neighborhoods. Vote Paul Vallis, a mayor for all of us. Paid for by Vallis for Mayor.
Willie Wilson for mayor of Chicago. The violence in Chicago must stop. Willie Wilson pledges real action to do that. A revised police structure, 4 superintendents, more accessible to their neighborhoods, providing faster communication and concentration of resources. Willie Wilson pledges more integrated police patrols to increase community, confidence, and cooperation. Willie Wilson's pledge will make Chicago safer. Finally, Chicago, do it right. Willie Wilson for mayor.
And now, traffic and weather.
Yo, who said devotion had to be sad? Yo, check this out. The Lord is my shepherd, and I want. He's making me to lie down in green pastures. He leading me beside the still waters. He restored my soul. God's gonna turn it around.
Come all the way with me. Don't leave me now. Come all the way with me. Oh, please. Please. Please don't leave me now. Please don't leave me now. Please. From glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, to the grave, from the grave. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, oh, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Come all the way with me. Don't leave
Good morning. What's in it for the Black People Media family? The time is now 6:58 a.m. I'm Riis the Ruler with your Chicagoland area sports traffic and weather update as we head over to college ball now. In college, Western Illinois wins 81-70 against North Dakota as we had an interstate battle. Northwestern Illinois taking on Atlanta last night. 25th ranked Northwestern would fall 66-62 and will beat Northwestern. As we head over to traffic now on the Kennedy. O'Hare to the Loop will be 22 minutes. Outbound will be 20 on the evenings. Both directions is 27 minutes. Eisenhower 31 minutes. Thorndale to the Loop 27 minutes to Thorndale. On the Stevenson from I-355 to the Dan Ryan will be 36. Outbound will be 30. The Bishop Ford at 37 minutes inbound, 25 outbound, while the Dan Ryan is 17 to the Loop, 12 to 95th. On DuSable Drive, everything is locked in at 8 minutes. Today's weather is currently 17 with a high of 28. I'm Riis the Ruler. Happy Friday. It's the Maze Jackson Show.
That you can do it again. Somebody calling you right now, Lord. If it ain't one thing we need, somebody else needs you for another. Please, son, look and have mercy. Have mercy over our home, Lord. Have mercy. Have mercy.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man DJ Riis the Ruler on the ones and twos. And y'all know how we do every day. At about 7:30, we say what's up to the Saints. That's right, the Saints from WBGX, 1570 a.m. That's right, they catch us every day, 6:30 to 8 a.m. Monday through Friday, WBGX, 1570 a.m. Now, you can do like Sister Zakia and Big John Austin. Go to the TuneIn app on your Google Play Store or to your App Store. Download the TuneIn app. Put in WBGX 1570 a.m. and you can listen to us every day, 6:30 to 8. Now, if you are a saint, an early rising saint, or one of the sinners, you can join us from 6 to 9 every day, Monday through Friday, on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Now, we've been doing this new thing. We've been getting it cracking here lately because, you know, I tell people all the time, on your birthday, you know how we get older, you come up and you say, yeah, it's my birthday, and you don't say nothing to nobody, but you really want everybody to tell you happy birthday, even though you try to play it off. So what I decided to do is make sure that we show love to all the people who join us every day, who are part of the Facebook family. I'll give you a birthday shout out. So, Riis, here we go. Ready? Y'all ready? And then I get to do my own very special rendition of the happy birthday song. So y'all get ready. But first of all, let me send a big happy birthday out to Ray Stevens, Quasi Amore in the 761st Gun Club. That's the first time I learned how to, pop that thing officially. Well, I popped that thing, but shout out to the 761st. Josie Hood, all the way from the University of Illinois. We go back to 1989 ILL. Shout out to Dookie. Oh, my bad. It ain't Dookie no more. It's Mr. Darian Veal. Shout out to Darian Veal. We also go all the way back to the University of Illinois. Daryl A. Washington, Donna Crane, Tiffany Lynn Jones, Elena Godbolt, Chi-Town Happenings, and music executive Brian Harris. Look, all y'all have a happy birthday. Hey, did I miss my cue? Let me just say this. Ready? Y'all ready? Sing it with me. Y'all ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to you and you and you and you and you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. It's the remix. The remix. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, you and you and you and you. Y'all, you know I love when it's time to sing the happy birthday song. So I want to make sure y'all get y'all happy birthdays out. Y'all get y'all kicking on. Speaking of happy birthdays, don't forget tonight, Alderman David Moore will be celebrating his birthday right here in the building at Obsidian. So y'all get here at 6 o'clock. We're going to go hard from
When is
6
his
to...
birthday?
Huh?
When is his actual birthday?
Tuesday.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure that
We gave him a big old shout out. You ain't hear me say,
Oh,
happy
last
birthday,
Tuesday.
Alderman on
It
Tuesday.
was. You're right. It was
See,
last
Riis, I'm telling you, man, we got this thing on lock. All right, man, now look. We done ran a little bit late, so I don't know if I'm even get to the social media question of the day, but I'm going to tell y'all what. We got the candidates. The West Side is in the building. I think we got the stage set up. Riis, why you giggling at the West Side, man? That's the problem,
you
man.
already know that's the best
That's the
side.
problem, man.
You already
Look,
know
man.
it.
Why people always be tripping on the west side?
It's the best side, man.
Well, clearly the mayor thinks the west side is the best side because she only come over here she only come here to go to Seafood Junction. But if it's time to cut a ribbon, she out west, boy. She out west with it. Reese, you been skating at the skating rink with no walls yet?
Not at all.
You tripping, man. You tripping, man. See? Reese, I'm not feeling that, man. We got to go skate. We going to skate at the skate park with no walls. I'm telling you, man, I got to go holler at my man, Pastor John Harrell, because Pastor John Harrell just blessed her into the Black Men United. You know what I'm saying? I got a feeling, the mayor be out west so much, I'm starting to think she might be under the... Well, let me stop. I'm feeling like she might be one of the brothers for real. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, out west.
So she want to, if she go to that, let me get advice, Lord.
I got it. Right. I got to see. I got to check where she at. Where is the mayor on Fridays at 7 o'clock? If she's somewhere facing the east, I got a question. All right, but I'm going to let that go. Look, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. We kind of ran out of time. You see the studio is filling up. Excuse me, the music hall. This is called the living room, just in case you didn't know, at Obsidian. So we're going to take another break, Reese, because it's time for us to do the last chance candidate debates for the 24th Ward. Man, we got the west side up early and all the way on the south side getting ready to do their thing. Now, if you better take a moment, share the broadcast, share it with your friends, share it with your family, because when we come back, we are going to be talking to the candidates in the 24th Ward, and maybe they can answer us why they think the west side is the best side. You think they can get that too? We're going to have them figure that out. We're going to try and work that into one of the questions. In the meantime, I see I got my timekeeper in the building. I see I got my director of governmental affairs in the building. I'm telling y'all, we getting it cracking. I see everybody ready to go. So, Reese, let's take a quick break. And we're going to get the candidates arranged on the stage. We'll get their signs up. And then we are going to get into it. What is going on? We want to know what's in it for the black people in the 24th Ward. We'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
With the longtime 34th Ward turning into the 21st Ward, there's only one clear choice for your next alderman of the 21st Ward, Cornel Dantzler. If you live in the 34th Ward, which is now the 21st Ward, vote for Cornel Dantzler in the upcoming election to represent your ward as alderman.
We will work together as a family and as a team so that we can make the 21st Ward one of the best wards in the city of Chicago. Thank you.
Punch 51 for Cornel Dantzler.
We can count on Paul Vallis. When Paul Vallis was CEO of Chicago Public Schools, he revitalized our neighborhood schools. No one delivered more for our underserved young people than Paul Vallis. As mayor, Paul Vallis will ensure that communities long neglected get a fair share of city investment, attracting the grocery stores we need, improving sanitation, and other city services in our neighborhoods. Vote Paul Vallis, a mayor for all of us. Paid for by Vallis for Mayor.
I don't know what you did, but you did it right. Girl, you make it look so easy. Everywhere you go, heads turning left and right. Can't say you a dime, you're a 20 piece. 'Cause girl, you're the reason I be acting funny. Everything in me telling me don't let you get away. And all the guys looking like they wanna love you. Every day I'm your bodyguard, not over my dead body. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? With your hair done, nails done, when you put that grown on. Why you gotta look so good, good? With your hair done, nails done, when you put that grown on, girl. Why you gotta look so good? I can look and see you're not an average chick. You're shutting it down everywhere you go. Girl, I want you as bad as I want a check. 'Cause you're sexy from head to toe. Girl, you're the reason I be acting funny. Everything in me telling me don't let you get away. And all the guys Girl, why you gotta look so good? Or when you're at the job, just taking a break, girl. Why you gotta look so good? In the club, turning up. Why you gotta look so good? On the dance floor, giving more. Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good? Girl, you know you be killing them when you be getting your own wanna know. Why you gotta look so good? With your hair done and your nails done, when you put they clothes on, girl, why you gotta look so good? Girl, why you gotta look so good? Why you gotta look so good?
Back to the Maze Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
What's in it for the black people? Cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to lies, can't toast no more. I told y'all, yeah, this a dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies, not other politicians. We need money and no symbolism. It's Maze and Riis and Ruthie and Ty explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to odds. If we united, our movement gon' stop. If they ain't tryna help us, they ain't tryna do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect your oppressed to solve them.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis, ruling the ones and twos. And y'all, this is it. This is the last chance candidate debates. Let me start by saying, let me give a big shout out to my sponsors, What's in It for the Black People Media, What's in It for the Black People Political Action Committee, and the Black People First Party. We have arranged this series of last chance candidate debates because we have seen throughout the city there have been a variety of people who have been putting on candidate forums, putting on, I won't call them debates, but putting on candidate forums that don't necessarily always answer the questions that black people want answers to. And so we came up with this last chance candidate debates to give black people, black candidates, a safe place to be able to share their ideas, the things that they want to let the black community know, that questions that maybe people won't ask because they don't understand us, they don't know us, etc. Now, I want to also be clear that this show is not against anyone, right? It's not. So there will be people who will try and turn and switch the conversation, but the reality is there is nothing wrong. We here at What's in It for the Black People believe that it is okay for black elected officials to advocate for black people. So we hope that you all, as you all choose to answer, and we recognize that you all live in a ward that has a variety of diverse constituencies. So a lot of times people are like, I can't say that because I don't want to offend anybody over there. Today we want you to feel free to talk to black people, not to the exclusion of anyone else, but our audience is what it is. What's in it for the black people? You are on What's in It for the Black People Media. I want to thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here today. I'm going to tell you that we attempt to be as fair as possible. Every question you may not get an opportunity to answer because it may not be a question. We may have some questions that are specific to you. This is a debate. This is not a candidate forum. So if you hear something that you disagree, give me a finger, not the finger, a finger, right? And I will try to make sure that we give you an opportunity to answer the question or to rebut if you hear something that one of your, I don't want to call you opponents, but at this point we will say it's politics, it's blood sport. If your opponent says something that you disagree with, please give me a signal. We'll try and give you about 10 to 15 seconds to say something, to rebut, or to dispute, and then whoever got disputed will get 10 seconds to rebut the question. That's fair. We ask that it be a spirited and lively debate, that you all be honest, and then I'm going to say also, please respect my timekeeper. You are going to get the opportunity if the timer goes off, and there will be various times for the questions. If the timer goes off, I'll give you the opportunity to put a period on your sentence so you can complete the sentence. But if you go into a second sentence, y'all going to make me act up, okay? Please don't make me act up because I want to be cool with everybody. All right, y'all, so with that in mind, let's get this thing going. Let me start by saying to our listening audience and our viewing audience, we have 3 candidates in the race. I believe there are 5 candidates in the race, 8 candidates in the race. 3 candidates chose to show up today to speak to you specifically to black issues. With that in mind, I would like to welcome to the building Ms. Beatrice M. Boyce, Mr. Drew One Goldsmith, and Mr. Luther Woodruff Jr. You all have been seated in alphabetical order. The way that I will try to do this is I will go one way, come back the other way, then I'll try to come back, and then I'll try to give everybody the opportunity to start to get an answer, a first crack at the questions. Is that cool? All right? Everybody good? Y'all get mic check. Everybody mics work. Y'all pull it. And I want to be clear. You're going to need to talk directly into the mic.
Mic check, mic check.
Look, everybody. I always want to do that too. Mic check, 1, 2. Everybody say mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. I used to always want to do that.
In the place to be.
Look,
Can you hear me? Is this mic on?
Yes. Is this thing working? Is this thing working? Yes. We can hear you all. Let me tell you, pull the mics close to you when you go to speak and speak directly into it. It's not a side mic. None of the cools. You know how I be like, I want to talk on the side. Like, now people be shooting on the side, all that. Talk straight into the microphone and it'll be great. You are broadcasting live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Please feel free to share. You are also live on WBGX 1570 AM. All right, you all. Let's begin this debate by introducing yourself. So I'm going to start with you, Ms. Boyce. I'm going to go with you, Ms. Boyce, then Mr. Goldsmith, and then Mr. Woodruff. I'm going to ask you to give me a 1-minute introduction as to who you are and why are you running for the alderman of the 24th Ward. Ms. Boyce.
Hello, everyone. I'm happy to be here with What's in It for the Black People. My name is Beatrice Boyce, candidate for alderman of the 24th Ward, and I am running in this election to give the residents of the 24th Ward another option, a better choice as far as what they've been given, someone with experience, 25 years in corporate, someone that has fought legislation, a mother, a grandmother, a lifetime West Side resident, a longtime North Lawndale 24th Ward community resident, someone that is focused, that is geared, that has pushed legislation, that has a business in the community, that has her pulse on the community, someone that the community knows, that can walk to the local grocery stores, the local food stores, the ones that are supposed to be there, and the gas stations, and people know me just by my face, my sight, because I'm seen and I get the job done.
Thank you, Ms. Boyce. And I want to also let you all know that you do not have to take the whole time if you don't. Mr. Goldsmith, how are you? And tell us a little bit about yourself and why are you running for alderman of the 24th Ward?
Well, thank you. I'm well, to answer your question.
All right.
I want to start off by thanking God for the opportunity to be here. Thank you all for opening the doors. And big shout out to my family, starting with my wife, who's sitting over on the side.
She was over here correcting our signs, like, get his sign straight.
Supporting me every step of the way, so I can't thank her enough. My family, my children, extended family as well. But 3 generations in Lawndale, I'm running in regards to, or for the reason of correcting the wrongs that our community has endured for years. For decades. There's no personal gain that I actually have. It would actually be pretty much a lateral move from where I currently stand with Chicago Fire Department, 22 years. Prior to that, worked as a director of facility for Lawndale Christian Health Center. Was with that ministry since the age of 8 years old. Still have a lot of relationships there. I also
Thank you. That was your timer. I want to keep.
That was 1 minute.
Yes, time goes fast, so I want to encourage you all to watch the timer.
I didn't even see the clock.
Right,
Thank
so
you.
I apologize if I did not let you know the time. Zaviola, raise your hand. Zaviola is our timekeeper. I'm going to encourage you all to be able, because I'm going to tell you how much time you have. Okay. I'm going to encourage you to look at it, and when you see you got 10 seconds, start wrapping up, because I hate cutting people off, but I will do it.
Thank you.
Complete the sentence. You got a period. Mr. Woodruff, how are you today? And tell us why you're running for alderman of the 24th Ward.
I'm great. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ruthie Woodruff, Jr., and I'm running for alderman of the 24th Ward. I've been a lifelong resident of the 24th Ward for all 42 years of my life. 4 years ago, my wife and I, Shauna, purchased a property on the same block I grew up on 42 years ago, and we live in Douglas Park. We bought the property. We lived down the street from my parents. I attended Providence St. Mel High School. I'm also a member of Greater Rock Missionary Baptist Church, where I serve as a musician, and my father serves as the senior deacon. I'm working for the city of Chicago. I've been there 18 years. Shout out to local 700 Teamsters Union. And I'm running because our community is in pain. So please, I come to ask for your support and your vote. Punch 53.
All right. You know what? You mentioned something that I'm going way off the script. You said Douglas Park, right? That's where the circle is, right?
No.
Oh, wait. I got the.
Yeah.
Sorry. Never mind.
No problem.
Changing.
Okay.
I was going to say, do y'all think they need to close the circle? But I'll let that be. I'll let that be. Look, I seen your face, but we're going to come back to that. So I'm going to start with you, Mr. Drew One Goodsmith. Goldsmith. Goodness, it's Goldsmith. What makes you qualified to run for alderman?
I am the only candidate, not to belittle anyone else.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is 30 seconds.
30 seconds. I am the only candidate that has a life of history, which starting with serving my country, 6 years, United States Marine Corps, 22 years here in the fire department. Also serving my community, again, as I stated, Lawndale Christian Health Center, Lawndale Community Church I'm a part of, redeveloping multiple properties up and down Ogden Avenue. I own a few properties myself within the area, and countless times of
Finish the sentence. Countless times
of grasping and hiring individuals from the community for projects.
Wonderful. Mr. Woodruff, tell us why you are qualified to run to be the alderman of the 24th Ward.
I feel I'm qualified because I love people. That's number one. Like I said, I work for Streets and Sanitation. I've been there 18 years. And as I ride throughout the wards, I see the trash everywhere. And I'm an individual that loves to clean up. And I would love to clean up our ward, to bring back more businesses, and to bring our community together to restore hope, rebuild our communities, and reconnect our neighborhoods.
Okay. Ms. Boyce, why are you qualified to run for alderman? What are your qualifications for alderman?
An alderman's job is to legislate, appropriate. You have to vote, and you have to deal with the finances of this city. That is my background. 25 years in corporate, running a $40 million a year entity, managing over 100+ employees at one time. The only candidate on this panel that can proudly say that I pushed reparations for the city of Chicago. I was one of the key people that had to hit the ground running, had to kick in the doors of the aldermen with the help of Cam Howard, Alderman Roderick Sawyer, and Dr. Willie Wilson. And to me, that was the most important legislation as it relates to African Americans.
Period, woman. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. But you know what? When we speak on that, I'm going to come across really quick if I can get a yes or no answer from you. Do you, Mr. Woodruff, I'll start with you. Do you support monetary reparations for the American descendants of slavery?
Absolutely.
Ms. Boyce, do you support monetary reparations for the descendants of American slavery?
Yes, I support full-blown reparations.
Mr. Goldsmith, do you support reparations, monetary reparations for the descendants of slavery?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Boyce, I'm going to come back to you because you did speak on your fight for reparations. What happened there, and would you say you were successful, and what did you learn?
Pardon, can you repeat that?
What did you learn would you say that your fight for reparations was successful, and if so or if not, what did you learn in that process?
Absolutely, the fight was successful because the legislation passed in 2020, 47-3. Even after the mayor rescinded our first resolution, which we were asking for $1 million so that the task force can sit and get paid to write it. But it was revoted on, again, 47-3, so that's successful. It's also successful in the point where now it's national legislation, and it also landed state legislation, which is House Bill 5024. That's success all the way around. We're behind the 8 ball.
Thank you. I have a follow-up for that, but I'm going to come back to it when we talk about what is success. I'm going to give you, Mr. Woodruff, I'm going to start with you. Give me 15 seconds. This is 15 seconds for everybody to brag on the 24th Ward. Tell me what's great about the 24th Ward.
Again, the people. Right now, currently, we have 2 new soul food restaurants in our ward. We have some beautiful parks in our ward. I live across the street from one of the parks. And we have a great faith-based community in our ward.
Thank you. Ms. Boyce?
When you stand in the middle of Roosevelt Road and 16th Street, you see the skyline of downtown Chicago. Our community is rich. We have the most transit systems across the city of Chicago. We have some of the most beautiful gravestones. We have historic landmarks, and we have a community of great people.
Thank you. Mr. Goldsmith.
I almost put my finger up because I believe that the best view is on Ogden Avenue.
I think I might have seen that view.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But go ahead, talk to me. You got 15
seconds.
seconds.
Good too now, Drew.
But my answer is location, the proximity to downtown, the view, the architecture that we have, as she stated, the bungalows, the graystones.
Okay, great. Mr. Goldsmith, I'm going to come to you. You mentioned North Lawndale Christian Community Center. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
It has mixed reviews. Talk to me about that, because oftentimes people talk to me about the North Lawndale organization as someone that is a gentrifier and has taken resources from the community. Talk to me about why that's different, why you see it differently.
It's a lengthy process. Again, as I stated, the explanation. As I stated, I've been there since I was 8 years old. And with that being said,
30 seconds.
With that being said, it's hard to get true individuals to do the job that needs to be done within giving back to a community. And for the dollars that are being paid, where you can go elsewhere, our black individuals go to school, they get all this education, acquire all this debt, and then they want to go make their money back. But when it's time to actually reap those funds back, our ministry doesn't pay that much, so therefore you get individuals who want to sacrifice.
I'm going to stop you right there. Talk to me about North Lawndale Christian Community Center. Talk to our Christian
Lawndale Christian
Let me just call it Lawndale Christian.
Yeah,
Lawndale Ministry.
Okay, the Lawndale Ministry. Talk to me about that. Is it a good thing or a bad thing in the community? 30 seconds.
I think it's a good thing. I do feel like the funds that I've heard about as far as tips that comes into our community has been allocated to different areas. So I would love to sit down with the board of North Lawndale and see how we can come to a solution on where the funds are being appropriated and how we can develop our community more.
Okay. Ms. Boyce.
Well, Lawndale Christian Development Center is known as the boogeyman in some parts of North Lawndale. The community feels like there's a tale of two wards within a ward. You have one side that's invested in, one side that's disinvested in. But I've had the pleasure and opportunity of the first time speaking with the new CEO, just to learn a lot about North Lawndale that I don't know. And I think that more people need to become more aware of who they are and what they really stand for. And that's the key to really bridging the community together so that we all understand how to move forward collectively.
Okay. You got a rebut? Go ahead.
Well, not necessarily.
Is a rebut? Is it a debate to what she said? You disagree?
I don't disagree. I actually agree.
Okay.
And
so
the more educated people get on what the ministry is about, the better off they'll feel about it.
Okay, so go ahead, I'll let you come back.
And it's just more than it's more than a ministry. There are different components to Lawndale Christian. So you have the development, you have LCDC, you have the church, you have this. I just learned of a whole new resident program. You have the hospital facility. So people think that it's one, but it's not. And I recently learned this. They have different bodies, and it's gonna take and as I said to the pastor, you're going to have to get out here and campaign so that people can understand what you're about. And we need to just do away with this myth of the tale of two wards within a ward and just collectively come together.
Thank you.
So
And
add to that,
I'll let you go ahead.
And
then you can. I'll let you have an opportunity.
Our Hope House Ministry, which is a recovery home for individuals coming out from incarceration as well as rehab from drugs. We have the health center itself, the fitness center. There are so many. Our legal center that's now up and running. They're about to build over in K-Town there. There are so many different components that people that are there for the community, branch out from the community and for the community.
Mr. Woodruff, did you want to contribute to that? So let me ask a question. What is the racial makeup of the board of directors, and who runs the community center? Is that black people or is that white folks?
Well, the head.
It's a mixture. For me to act.
I'll give you 10 seconds and then I'll come to you.
There's a mixture, but majority of the ratio, I would say 70%, 80% are African American.
Who the boss? Who is the chairman
Coach
of the board?
Gordon.
Okay.
He is the head of the church, and that's a misconception.
Yeah.
He is the head of the church. The head of the Development Corporation, Richard Townsend, African American.
Okay.
He's a Lawndalian. Pastor Brooks for the health center, fitness center, African American. So there's a misconception, and a lot of people need to actually understand the dynamics of what's going on.
Wonderful. Yes. Anybody disagree?
No, I don't disagree.
Everybody cool. All right.
No, that's true.
I'll let that be. We're going to move on from there. Okay, I am going to start with you, Mr. Woodruff, this time.
Yes.
How does the decline in black population affect your ward?
You said how?
How does the decline in black population affect or impact the 24th ward?
How does it impact it?
I'm going to give you 30 seconds on
the decline of it. I feel it affects our neighborhood because when people leave, a lot of times the buildings are abandoned. Also with that, I would say this, the jobs are leaving, which we don't have many jobs. Programs have left, and I feel we have one school that's closed right now. So when people are leaving, it hurts the community. And with that being said, if we can restore.
I'll take out. All right, go ahead, Beatrice.
Well, it's hurting our schools because enrollment is down. There's an exodus. We have vacant property, which opens up the door for gentrification. We have fewer stores, which creates less jobs. It's just a whole dynamic of things that's occurring in North Lawndale. And the main issue with the exodus is gentrification. We've got to get a hold of our community, and it decreases our tax base, our revenue. It decreases the concentrated net worth of the community.
Okay. Mr. Goldsmith.
And to add along with that, the lack of individuals means that it's less attractive. And to piggyback off of which another pet peeve of mine is the garbage. So no one really wants to truly come in and invest. So we have to reverse that situation. And gentrification, the taxes, things of that nature, that all encompasses and actually renders on us in a very negative way.
Okay. So with that in mind, I'm going to take the population loss and I'm going to move it to a different place. We're going to answer this question, and then we're going to take a quick break after everybody answers this question. With the population loss, one of the things that we have seen is as population is being lost, I think in the last remap, to get to the numbers that Alderman Scott was trying to get to in the fight, they had to bring in Cook County Jail as part of the math to get where they're at, to get to a racially balanced ward. One of the things that is happening in one of the biggest crises in the city of Chicago right now is this migrant crisis. Talk to me about the fact that the population loss seems to open up the opportunity for migrant shelters to be put in the 24th ward. Would you, and we'll make this a 15-second question, we'll start with you, Ms. Boyce, would you support a migrant shelter being brought to the 24th ward?
No, I will not. And you also spoke about the the prison population that has been added into the 24th Ward, I looked at the voting numbers of the number of prisoners that have voted so far, Mays, and as of February 21st, we've had 943 prisoners that voted in the 24th Ward. That's a concern of mine because in elections like this, who has access to the prison system to get in there and talk to those people? So was this a political move or was it an increase in population move? I have to ask that question. And as far as the migrant and the city of Chicago being a sanctuary city, we're not prepared for that. There's a lot of work that needs to be put in place to make sure that we're qualified, that we're set up to intake legal, and I would like for the process to be more legal than illegal. So there's more work to be done in that area.
Mr. Goldsmith, would you support a migrant shelter being put in the 24th Ward?
Not at this time. And I say because our ward is not equipped to handle the influx of migrants coming in. We need to actually handle in-house first. We need to clean home first. Before I accept guests into my house, I need to make sure that I'm secure enough to handle them. And the 24th Ward is not right now.
So when do you think it would be ready?
Well, there will be a long haul before the 24th Ward can equate to the Lincoln Parks and things of that nature. So we have a big, long haul of fights in front of us before we can handle the migrants coming in. Now, the flip side of that is I want to do as my God says, is do unto others as you want others to do unto you. At the same time, I also don't want to, me personally, I don't want to be a burden on you if you can't handle me in your house.
Okay. Thank you. 30 seconds. Mr. Woodruff. Would you support a migrant shelter being placed in the 24th Ward?
I say this, charity starts at home. Right now we have individuals in our ward that don't have a roof over their head. And I think our attention needs to be focused on the individuals that's in our neighborhood right now that we need to have shelter for. Right now, our shelters don't have enough room for the individuals that are in our ward. So my hyper focus would be serving us in our ward first and then bringing on others, because I can only imagine fleeing from your country and you don't have a place to stay.
Okay, I'm going to give Vitris the opportunity to, Ms. Boyce, I'm going to give you the opportunity to rebut. You wanted to rebut Mr. Woodruff?
Not necessarily rebut him, but to add to it. I feel like the 24th Ward has become a dumping ground. Mm-hmm. And it's because of poor leadership that hasn't been focused and that just won't speak up for what's right, morally right for our community. And, there are facilities in our ward that gives us a high percentage rate of certain disastrous elements, to say. And so adding that component would add to the problems that we already have. So home first.
Thank you. Right now, guys, did you have something else you wanted to add to that? I'll give you an opportunity. I'll give you 10 seconds if you do.
Again, just adding the fact that we're not equipped safety-wise. There's nothing in place to stabilize their influx into the 24th Ward.
Thank you. I'm going to stop it right there. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get into this. When we come back, we talked about the migrants. I want to talk about returning citizens. It seems like the 24th Ward has a high propensity of returning citizens, including the Cook County Jail. I want to talk to you a little bit about what your policy or what your plan would be as it relates to that. So stay tuned. We'll be back after these messages. Look, hold on. Riis, we got to look like a live studio audience now. Look, y'all can't be in here dead and quiet. So I'm going to ask y'all when we go out the break, y'all make some noise. So if y'all here having a good time, make some noise. Give me some claps, some round of applause. Give a big shout of applause for the 24th Ward candidates. We'll be back after these messages.
The Mays Jackson Show will be back after this break.
This is Monster Jam! See the legendary Gravedigger and more tear up the dirt with massive stunts, all-out racing, and crazy skills. It's adrenaline-charged fun for the whole family.
Let's hear it! Make some noise!
Monster Jam, as big as it gets. Coming to Allstate Arena March 3rd through 5th. Brought to you by BKT Tires. You have to see it live, so lock in your seats at monsterjam.com.
Elect Willie Wilson for mayor of Chicago. Crime is out of control. Parents are frightened for their children. Downtown and our neighborhoods are at risk. Even gas stations are targets. We will fight back to protect our community. Elect Willie Wilson for mayor.
Hey, Chicagoland, all roads lead to Solo Beauty Supply, the largest black-owned beauty supply in Chicago. We carry a large selection of natural hair care products, plus much more. So come see us at one of our two locations, located at 9011 South Ashland or 8158 South Cottage Grove. Our inventory is growing, and with your support, Solo Beauty will continue to be a source of pride in our community.
Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things what you're doing, and in my head I paint a picture. Well, since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. But won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Valerie. Did you have to go to jail? Put your house on up for sale. Did you get a good lawyer? I hope you didn't catch a tan. I hope you find the right man who'll fix it for you. And are you shopping anywhere? Change the color of your hair. Are you busy? And did you have to pay that fine that you've been dodging all the time? Are you still dizzy? Oh, yeah. Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Oh, stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water, and I think of all the things what you're doing. In my head I paint a picture. Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, Why don't you come on over, Valerie?
live your whole truth and be your whole you. Yeah, they can talk behind your back, but they can't hold you. I don't keep my drama or my feelings in a bottle. Take a shot, no drama, just want you to know what I know. It don't last forever, promise it gets better. You've been through the biggest storm, but you can change the weather. Been under pressure.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my man, DJ Riis the Rule in the building. Hey, y'all, and we are live at Obsidian, and I think we got an in-studio audience, so y'all make some noise while you're in the building. All right. Look, y'all, we got it cracking in the building. We are talking to the 24th Ward Aldermanic candidates. We got Miss Beatrice Boyce in the building. We got Drew One Goldsmith in the building. And we got Luther Woodruff. Now, there's 8 candidates in the race, but only 3 people thought it was important enough to come today to talk to you about the issues that impact black folks. So hopefully you all will keep that in mind because, a lot of people say, don't go on that Maze Jackson show. You better stay away from there. You stay away from there because he be talking that black stuff. And sometimes as people try to be politically correct in campaigns, sometimes we tend to run from our constituency in fear of offending someone else. But one of the things that I found is that people want an advocate. And they know that if you'll advocate for your own self, that they will feel confident that you will advocate for them. So I want to make sure that our listening audience understands who is here. One more time, Ms. Beatrice Boyce, Mr. Drew One Goldsmith, and Mr. Luther Woodruff, who I have just squeezed you out. I got to move you around a little bit. Bear with me as I do the camera work. I'm a multifaceted cameraman. I got to do the cameraman, I got to do the host. But if it wasn't for my awesome What's in It for the Black People team, my media team, as well as my BP1 family, we would not been able to pull this thing out. You walk, y'all. So y'all, this what y'all doing on my show? Y'all, they wouldn't do that to Michael Strahan. That's all right, though. I know it's the Black Show. One day when I'm important, we gonna work it out. Now, look. Before we get too far into this, because I do want to talk about returning citizens, but the other thing that I want to do is I just want someone, and I'm going to go, who was the last person that I started with? All right, I'm going to go with you, Drew. Drew One. Drew, okay. So I'm going to go with you, Drew. I hear you all keep talking about Lawndale, North Lawndale, North Lawndale, North Lawndale. Ooh, is that all that exists in the 24th Ward? Because I know I would feel some kind of way if I was listening, and I'd be like, do they know the rest of the communities that exist in the 24th Ward? So if you could help me out and tell me what are the other areas, what does geographically the 24th Ward encompass?
Well,
or the communities?
As it was talked about before, Douglas Park is one of the largest parks in the city of Chicago. While we have the Riot Fest and things of that nature, which is a whole nother parameter that needs to be talked about. Yeah. But on the west side, or should I say, we actually border Cicero, and then you actually go all the way down to Roosevelt. So they almost call that, the north side of Lawndale, but at the same time, they try to encompass that into Garfield area as well. So,
thank you. I'll go to you, Mr. Woodruff.
Can you please ask the question again?
Tell me the communities besides North Lawndale that are in the 24th Ward.
As stated, Douglas Park. I live across the street from Douglas Park. And then you have, K-Town towards the west side. Then you have, they've included, I also want to say Austin, part of Austin, which is the island, which meeting those people over there, they didn't know who the alderman was. And that's off of Cicero towards 290. And then you have a couple of more parts, but North London is mainly the...
All right. Ms. Boyce, tell me the other communities in 24th Ward besides North Lawndale.
Yeah, we have to really get away from saying North Lawndale because the 24th Ward is much larger. We have Austin. We have South Lawndale, which is part of Little Village.
Little Velita, we got to talk about that.
We have certain parts of West Garfield. I did say the Austin area. I think that's it. I think those are the areas that encompasses the 24th ward. So we have to change our language in saying the 24th ward instead of North Lawndale, because it's North, South, Garfield, Austin, and Little Village.
Okay. So I'm going to go back, because before we went to break, I said we were talking about the migrant shelters coming to the area. But one of the things that we also recognize is the 24th ward has one of the highest returning citizen populations in the city of Chicago. Talk to me about how you will manage the returning citizen population. I'm going to start with you, Ms. Boyce.
Well,
30 seconds.
You really have to look at why we're labeled as such. Like I said prior, I feel like sometimes our community is a dumping ground, but we have a lot of shelters that return citizens come to. A part of that is part of the Lawndale Christian area. They also have facilities where we house return inmates. And how do we deal with that? We continue to welcome our citizens back. I mean, they have a constitutional right to say that they should be restored back to useful citizenship. And so we need to make sure that we have parameters in place to make sure that we can house them, employ them, and make sure that they get a fresh start in life.
Stretching that period, but okay. Let me go to you, Mr. Drew. One, what would you do to manage the returning citizen population in the 24th ward?
One of the biggest things that we can do is, again, as she stated, expand on to the current returning citizens programs that are in Lawndale, as well as start actively recruiting jobs. So without jobs, it's just a vicious cycle that they return back to the system. So until we actually tackle that, where they can actually be employed, and I'm talking about with livable, sustainable wages, we're actually spinning our wheels doing nothing.
Who am I hearing breathing in the mic? Go next, Mr. Woodruff.
We have to bring awareness. When people are returning, we need to make sure that they have something in place. And right now, currently, we do have North Lawndale, but we need to expand that and be more transparent with this citizens that are coming back. I think that's very important that we have better jobs, and we also need, which I'm sure we'll tap into, the food desert in the business to make sure that we're hiring these people when they come back.
So I want to go back into the returning citizen, tie it into, because all of you all said better jobs for them to return to. How do you get better business? Let me back. How are you going to recruit more business to the 24th ward, and what hasn't happened to do that? I'll start with you, Mr. Woodruff.
Well, first thing,
30 seconds.
We have to clean up. I come from a union household. Father worked 30 years for streets and sanitation. Teamster all his life, local 700. Same for me. When I drive throughout the different wards, if you drive up north, you can eat in the alley. Some alleys in my ward I will not drive down. So once we clean up, then we can invite more people in and beautify our neighborhood.
Okay, Ms. Boyce?
Well, it starts with economic development, Maze. And what's the structure of economic development? You start with housing. So we have various programs and developments that are already on the books that can implement more housing. With housing, you bring businesses. Businesses, you bring jobs. There are a lot of large businesses that are stationed to come to North Lawndale right now to help increase the job population, and the returned citizens should have access to those employment opportunities. I also plan to put day labor services on 16th Street and Roosevelt for those that need temporary jobs, and we can get them off the corners. So,
thank you. Mr. Goldsmith.
Just adding to what was actually stated, the cleaning, housing, and jobs. It's a very tall task, but it needs to happen simultaneously because you can't have one without the other. They're not attracted to the community to come in as far as businesses because of how nasty it is. Homes, you can't actually pay for rent if you don't have a job. So all of these actually have to happen right now, today.
So one of the things, and I keep hearing this as a recurring theme as we've been doing these debates, is cleanliness in the wards. It's universal. Somebody just said, did you say there was alleys in the north side that people could eat out of, and
yes,
then there's alleys that you wouldn't drive down? Where does the responsibility of the cleanliness come from? And I'll just start with you, Mr. Woodruff, and I'll do it in 10 seconds. Because it seems like to me that there's a community component of it that that the government is not going to be able to make happen. Tell me how you get the ward clean and remain clean.
Like I did a few weeks ago, I put out a flyer. We drove down a boulevard, my wife and I, and for months it was dirty. And once the flyer went out, it got clean. But we went, let me finish the sentence, please. We went back to clean up, and we had 14 large construction bags, and we only hit 3 blocks. So it's very important that the community comes together with the alderman and to make the job done.
Thank you. Ms. Boyce?
It's part the responsibility of the community and the elected officials, and it's also a need base. When they closed our ward office,
yes,
I believe that created more garbage, more cost to 311, and so as an alderman, I will lobby to get that ward office back open and get funding to keep our ward clean.
Mr. Goldsmith?
Piggybacking on both of those, great answers. At the same time, I'll add the advocacy for our elected officials. We need more. Downtown gets cleaned every day. Garbage trucks up and down the street cleaners every day. We need the same thing. We need to be leveled off because they always talk about us as a blighted community. Treat it as such. We need extra help. Give us the extra help we need. Stop leveling us off with everyone else.
Okay, thank you. This question is from social media audience Dr. Audrey Tanksley on YouTube. What are you specifically doing to impact the life expectancy disparities for Black people in the ward? I will start with you, Mr. Goldsmith. 15 seconds.
I actually have volunteered on many different projects in the community. Firehouse Community Arts Center, which is disassociated with the Lawndale Ministry, but right next door. Hope House program, I actually was the general contractor there, didn't earn $1 on it.
Thank you. Mr. Woodruff?
Well, my background is music, and I've taught the youth, I've mentored the youth through my music studio to help them, become creators of writing, producing music, and we've also given to the less fortunate and fed the less fortunate.
Beatrice, I'm talking about life expectancy. Now, this is a doctor who is saying, what are we doing to increase the life expectancy of Black people in the ward? Ms. Boyce.
Well, in order to increase the life expectancy, you have to minimize the poverty. How do you minimize the poverty? You have to invest in the community, and you have to invest in the people. And by me pushing reparations on a consistent basis, and once I become elected, we can put some meat and potatoes, and we can come to the forefront, just like California. They're getting ready to write the check.
Let me stop right there. And then, so one of the things I asked you all was, tell me about the 24th Ward and the communities that it impacts. And one of the things that you said was Little Velita.
Little Village, South Lawndale.
There is, and maybe I'm incorrect, but there seems to be a disconnect between the Black community and the brown community in a fight for resources. I think during the uprisings, we saw physical violence between Blacks and Latinos. Managing a ward where it seems like as we move out, other groups move in. How would you manage that process, and how do you make sure that the communities aren't in conflict and that Black folks don't lose in that space? I'll start with you, Mr. Woodruff.
Well, at one point in time, our brown brothers and sisters, they wouldn't come past the Viaduct, which divides Cermak from 19th Street. And then they put a soccer field. They took the basketball court away, and they put up a soccer field. And when that happened, it separated everything. So if we can find a way now, which they do come over and they're buying property in our area. There's a building on my block that just sold for $800,000. My wife and I work every single day, and we can't afford that type of property.
Thank you. You said our. I'm gonna come back to this question because I think there's more to it. Go ahead, Ms. Boyce. How do you manage the two different dynamic populations that are happening, especially knowing what happened during the uprisings?
Well, during the uprising, we all know that a lot of that came from the mayor's office And also, you have to look at the demographics of the ward. We had 80% African American. We have 13% Latinos. So I'm in that area, and I'm asked that question all the time. So collectively, we have to come together based on needs. What's needed? We're 80% of the population. We're the majority of the tax base in that community. And so we all have to sit at the table as the 24th Ward political organization, people from every precinct making decisions on behalf of where we live, which precinct we live, and what needs we have to meet.
Okay. Did I get you, Drew, on this question? I'd like to hear your perspective on how do we manage the black and brown merger in the ward.
The biggest thing I can say is intentionality. There has been no intentional bridging the gap, communicating across the bridge. We as African Americans are very accepting to just about everyone coming into our zone. But we always run into problems when it goes outward. But again, there has been no intentionality. We need more meetings. We need to actually unify, have conversations, understand each other's struggles, and help each other out at it. And again, they need to open their doors up for us to actually come there. There's no African Americans hired on 26th Street, but we have plenty that are hired on the north side of 26th Street. So that's a dynamic that definitely needs to be corrected.
Okay. So I will go back to again in this space. We saw in the last remap the goal of the Latino caucus to really decrease the number of black wards and black political power, which leads me to one of the primary questions that we ask here of every candidate. Would you or do you support the right of undocumented immigrants to vote in municipal elections, any municipal elections? I'll start with you, Mr. Goldsmith.
No.
Okay. Mr. Woodruff?
Is this a yes or no answer? Or
I mean, you can answer it how you choose to answer. Do you support the right of undocumented or migrant immigrants to vote in any municipal election?
I feel right now we need to restore the individuals or citizens that's in America right now, get them back to voting before we reach out or allow others to vote at this point.
So let me back up, because in the state of Illinois, once you served your time, your voting rights are restored.
Okay.
So it goes back to my question. Would you support the right of undocumented immigrants or migrants to vote in any municipal election?
No.
Thank you. Ms. Boyce, would you support the right of undocumented immigrants or migrants to vote in any municipal election?
What's in it for the black people? My ancestors died for us to have the right to vote. So what legislation could give illegal people a right to something that my ancestors died for? So the answer is no.
Well, okay. With that in mind, I am going to take another question from online. How are you going to, and I think you all touched on this, so I'll just make this a 15-second question, but we want to make sure we engage our online audience. How are you going to deal with the blight statistically in the 24th Ward? I'll start with you, Mr. Woodruff.
Again, it starts with cleaning up. We have to clean up. We have to bring more programs back for our youth. And we have to protect our citizens as well. Seniors, not citizens, seniors as well. We have senior homes in our area that is just bad.
Thank you. Ms. Boyce.
Reinvest, reinvest, reinvest. We have to reinvest in our community. We need money. We need funding. Coming together with my legislators, my state rep, my county commissioner, my congressional district, who really didn't bring a lot of money back from that $1.7 trillion infrastructure money. We have to invest in our community. And collectively as legislators, we have to figure out where we put the money.
Okay. Let me do this. We're going to take a quick break. It's the top up. Oh, dang. I'm sorry, Mr. President. Go ahead. I apologize.
My answer on top of what they're saying is intentionality again. So, for example, menu money, $1.5 million. It's not enough. And again, everyone labels this a blighted community. Why do you give the blighted community the same as a Lincoln Park? It doesn't work. It's not going to work. We need more. So we need someone who's going to stand up, who's going to pound for more.
All right, that is the end of this round of questioning. We are going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, this is where it gets good. This when I get a little messy, right? When we come back, so this is what I want you all to think about, right? There's 3 people on the panel, when we come back, you can ask one person one question on the panel. So when we come back after this break, one person, you only get one, and you get to ask them one question. Make it a good one, but one question. Then we're gonna mix it back up when we come back. Look, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. We gotta get some noise. We are live at Obsidian. Make some noise in the building. All right, y'all. This is the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
We can count on Paul Vallis. When Paul Vallis was CEO of Chicago Public Schools, he revitalized our neighborhood schools. No one delivered more for our underserved young people than Paul Vallis. As mayor, Paul Vallis will ensure that communities long neglected get a fair share of city investment, attracting the grocery stores we need, improving sanitation, and other city services in our neighborhoods. Vote Paul Vallis, a mayor for all of us. Paid for by Vallis for Mayor.
Willie Wilson for mayor of Chicago. The violence in Chicago must stop. Willie Wilson pledges real action to do that. A revised police structure, 4 superintendents, more accessible to their neighborhoods, providing faster communication and concentration of resources. Willie Wilson pledges more integrated police patrols to increase community, confidence, and cooperation. Willie Wilson's pledge will make Chicago safer. Finally, Chicago, do it right. Willie Wilson for mayor.
Making a way. Ooh, keep on blessing me. Blessed in the city, blessed in the field, even when you come and go. I'm so glad that the Lord keeps on blessing me. Y'all, I must say. In spite of, he just keep on. Yeah. Keep on blessing me. Oh, keep on blessing me. Blessing me. Blessing me. In spite of me, he keeps on blessing me. Blessing me. I don't deserve it. He keeps on blessing me, blessing me all the time. He keeps on blessing me, blessing me. Lord, we need you to, Lord, we need you to, Lord, we need you to. Can't make it unless you. We need you to stop it. Come on and stop it. Do it every day, every hour. Come on and do it. Do it for us now. Somebody in a hospital, somebody down, don't feel too well, but bless us now. In the name of Jesus. Oh. Grandmama said, please, oh, please, yeah, oh, please, yeah, keep on blessing, keep on blessing me, while I'm driving the car, while I'm sweeping the floor, while I'm cooking dinner, taking the kids to school, walking down the street, walking through the grocery store. Keep on blessing me. Anywhere that I stand, anywhere that I stand, keep on blessing me. In the name of Jesus, thou son of David, keep on blessing me. Have mercy, oh God. Please don't ever stop. Please don't ever stop. When I'm disobedient, please don't ever stop. friends, even bless my enemies. Oh, please, yeah, please.
Heaven is likened unto 10 virgins. 5 of them were wise, and 5 of them were foolish. But when the Lord shall come, I want to be like the wise. Oh, I want to be ready when Jesus comes. I want to be ready when Jesus comes. I gotta live my life every day. No man knows the day nor the hour. I got to be ready. I gotta live my life every day. No man knows the day nor the hour. I got to be ready. I wanna be ready. I wanna be ready. Jesus comes. I gotta be ready. Ready when Jesus comes. I gotta live my life every day. No man knows the day nor the hour. I got to be ready. I gotta live my life every day. No man knows the day nor the hour. I got to be ready. I wanna be ready. I wanna be ready. When the first trumpet sounds, I got to be ready. I gotta be ready. When he cracked those clouds, gotta be ready. When he come back again, he's coming back. Gotta be. When he comes back for me, I wanna be ready. I gotta hear him say, servant, well done, thy good and faithful servant. He won't catch me with work undone. Gotta be. Will you be? Don't let him catch you with work undone. Don't let him catch you with work undone. No man knows the day nor the hour. Son of man shall appear when he comes. Crack those clouds. Gotta hear him say, servant, well done. You've been faithful. You've been faithful. Come on. You gotta get your house in order. He's coming like a thief in the night. Don't let him catch you with work undone. When he comes, you got to be ready. I got to be ready. He's coming for his church. No spot, no wrinkle. He's coming. We don't know the day nor the hour when he shall, but he shall appear. He shall appear. I got to be ready.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show. You are listening to the most dangerous show. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Ty Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case, he was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System to milk is so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System to milk is so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And up the seal carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System to milk is so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System to milk is so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson, live in studio. Right here at Obsidian, we have the candidates for the 24th Ward Alderman. All right, look at that. Make some noise. Make some noise for the 24th Ward in the building.
West side.
All right.
West Side.
Drew, we waiting on you, man. We want to see your authentic. Let me get an authentic West Side from all y'all. Let me see how authentic y'all are. Look, Drew, like, hold on. Pardon me. Pardon me. All right, so we gonna get some West Side authenticity.
There you go.
We're gonna do a West Side authenticity test. We'll start with Miss Vitra's Boyce. Represent for the West Side real quick for me.
West Side.
All right, that's Miss Boyce. Mr. Drew One Goldsmith, let's hear your representation for the West Side.
Okay.
Came with the old school.
Look, he came with the, oh, dang, he hit him with the, all right.
Charming.
Luther Woodruff Jr., give me your West Side love.
What down, fam?
See, and if y'all would have said, what up, Joe, right? Then it would have, see, somebody
Joe,
would hit the Joe. If y'all would have got a Joe
West
in
Side,
there,
Best Side.
if y'all would have got a Joe in there, then I would have said y'all was 100% authentic. But, you know, somebody asked me, was Madison and Pulaski in the 24th Ward? I was like,
oh, no way.
see, what? Look, why y'all discriminating against Madison and Pulaski, man? Y'all know I've been. Come on now,
I worked
everybody.
there 18 years. 18 years on Pulaski and West End as a firefighter. The firehouse is on West End and Pulaski. 18 years right there.
Oh, we all right.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Been there, done that.
I learned
seen
my
it.
Chicago. I learned my West Side in the Madison and Pulaski Mall. Mr. Rick's, Mr. Rick's airbrush shop in the basement. Big Swill. In case y'all didn't know, Big Swill used to be the manager over there, and that's why I broke myself in when I first came to Chicago.
Nice.
The West
Shine
Side,
King?
huh?
Why you didn't mention Shine King?
Oh, see, that's all that. See, but see, I stayed at the mall, right?
Yes, sir.
So honestly, when I first came back to Chicago, the West Side is where I was actually welcome. You know, South Side people be like, "Where you from?" And you be hating and all type of stuff. And I came out West, and I was always welcome. You know, I feel like you was always welcome on the West Side. But let me go back because this has been. First of all, I just want to commend you all on your congeniality, right? Oftentimes in these ward races, things get messy. things get a little heated. Now, it could be that the people that is heated with and messy with ain't here, because I just want y'all to know it's 8 candidates. It's 8 candidates.
It is 8.
It's 3 people that said when we said we want to know what's in it for the black people, 3 people showed up, right?
Yep.
What you say the black population is? In
80%.
So 80% of the constituency is black, but we got 1/3 of the candidates to come answer the questions for what's in it for the black people. So with that in mind, one more time, let me read the names. Reese, what's that going on with me? Maybe I need a reset or something. We back? No, we're not. All right, I want to make sure that we're clear that we have Miss Beatrice M. Boyce, Mr. Drew One Goldsmith, as well as Luther Woodruff Jr., who are all here to answer your questions. But since I've been asking all the questions, I decided that, y'all just a little too nice to each other. That the congeniality don't get us no good ratings. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to have each one of you ask a question. So you have Beatrice, Drew, and Luther. You can ask one question of one person on the panel. Miss Boyce, we're going to let you go first because you're in the first spot. Plus, ladies first, it's 2 dudes. We give you courtesy. So, Miss Boyce.
Yes.
One question, one person. What you want to know from one of the people that are on the stage?
Well, Maze, this is my 3rd election. I was in 2011 election. We had 18 candidates, and I forced to run off with 2 incumbents then. I was in 2015 election of 10 candidates, and I forced to run off with Michael Scott Jr. And in both of those races, all the candidates said that after the election, they would stay. They would stay on the ground. They would fight. They would get involved politically, but that didn't happen. So I want to ask Drew Juan Goldsmith, if not elected and the community see fit that I'm elected, would you stick around? Would you become part of a team in the 24th Ward that help move us forward?
So my answer to that is absolutely yes, 100%. And little do maybe Beatrice know, as well as Woodruff, we have a large ward. And I have been active, in my way, where I actually have my gifts. So even with me having the car show on Ogden Avenue for the past 11 years, things of that nature, where I actually attract individuals in and try to be an advocate for our people.
Okay. Thank you very much. Mr. Goldsmith. Wait, did you say car show?
Yes, sir.
What kind of car show?
Chicago's historic Route 66 classic car show.
Dang,
11
I ain't
years.
getting no invite, man. I
Been
got
all
me a
around.
66
11
Impala
years.
SS. We ain't in the... All right, we're going to be there next year.
www.carsonroute66.com.
Okay. Let me go to you, Mr. Drew One Goldsmith. One question, one person on the panel. What's your question?
My question would be for Miss Beatrice Boyce. What is your idea in handling our youth in the carjacking situations? What would you do for them?
Oh, wow, that's a sticky, tricky question. To me, you always have to go back to the root cause. Like, why is this happening? And it's because this city, this country has plagued blacks just to be a menace to society, the disinvestment in our children, the lack of resources, the lack of after-school curriculum, the lack of social services and trauma treatment with our youth. We have to go back to where it started, and we have to enforce a lot of that to bring them back home again.
Okay. And then Mr. Luther Woodruff Jr. One question, one person.
I would like to say it's been a pleasure working with these individuals. And I also want to give a shout out to my family, my wife, etc. This question is for Miss Beatrice. Why are you running again? No, not in the...
No, it's okay. You know I'm a little jazzy. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Miss Boyce, why are you running again for the 3rd time?
I'm running because I really did not like the nepotism component that took place in our election. Politics is not a family business. It's a constituent right. We have a right to elect our elected officials. And I'm running because I know that I am the most qualified candidate in this race. I'm the most experienced. I have fought for a long time, and I'm ready to serve the board. Day one.
Okay, so we've heard that day one. Since I'm on this space, let me just ask another question. And we'll start with you, Mr. Woodruff.
Yes.
If you had to hire someone on the stage to be part of your team, who would it be?
So I don't think if I was to get the victory, I would love to hire Vitris, but Vitris, I think Vitris will go on to do other things. Let's be real. But I have had conversations with some of the other candidates that are running, and there would be two of them, two young ones that I would pick to work for me.
Okay. All right. Miss Boyce.
Yes.
I'm going to come to Mr. Goldsmith. Okay. I'm going to come back this way. Mr. Goldsmith, if you had a choice of someone, and I guess we could say somebody on the campaign that you've been in. Is there anybody if you had to pick one person from this campaign trail to work in your office if you were elected alderman, who would it be?
One person within the campaign trail.
One of the people that's running.
Of the 8.
Yep.
For the youth component, I would definitely say it would be Youth and Power. It'd be Mr. Ward.
Okay, Mr. Ward. And Ms. Boyce.
Yeah.
And we don't know who Mr. Ward is, and we're not going to talk about him because he ain't here. But Ms. Boyce, if you had to pick one person on the campaign trail, who would that's been running, one of the candidates, who would you hire?
It would be Edward Ward. His career in education, he's a teacher, his tenacity. I like his progressiveness. He's not a socialist, but I can help balance him out. And just gear him and get him ready to be the next wave of leadership. We need to embrace our youth, and when they're interested, we need to keep them involved.
That's interesting. So you know what I would have said? Not that y'all care about mine. I would have said the current alderman, because then she would be working for me. And not, look, y'all making a face, but then she would be the current alderman. I'm not here. That's just my own self. All right. So look, one of the other questions that I think, and we talked about this, and I think Mr. Goldsmith, you touched on it when you talked about the carjackings and the youth. Was that you? I think that was you.
Yes, sir.
More police in the 24th Ward or less police in the 24th Ward? And why or why not? 30 seconds. Mr. Drew One Goldsmith.
We are already underneath as far as police and their numbers. So when you say more, are you talking about when we're up to par or right now?
I'm saying as the ward exists. I can't talk about what ain't there, what is there. I mean, I can't talk about what's not. I'm not talking hypotheticals. Currently, right now, do you want more police in the 24th Ward or less police in the 24th Ward? Why or why not?
I would want more than our current. I would like to bring us up to par to deal with the issues that we actually have. We're under. And that's why when you call the cops, you have a long wait before they actually come out. So they're actually working underneath their actual status quo of what they're supposed to have right now.
Ms. Boyce, more police, less police, why or why not?
Well, right now, our police budget in the city of Chicago is almost the highest across the country. So more police is not the answer. A more reformed police policy and system in the way they deal with African Americans is what's needed. Not more. Definitely not more.
Was your question the ward or the city?
Ward. Mr. Woodruff, more police or less police in the 24th Ward? Why or why not?
I want more youth programs in our ward. And I think with that, we could put a dent in the Kia boys, which a couple weeks ago, we had a meeting. And right now, there's an organization I'm a part of called Men and Mothers Opposed to Violence Everywhere, where we're trying to work out something with Kia where they can sit down with these kids and hopefully give them jobs one day and train them. So my job would be more programs, more investments for the youth instead of more police.
Okay, so no less police. Okay. I am going to take some questions from the social media audience. We got two here. I will start. I think I did you last. No, you'll be this time. All right. This question is from Tamiko Holt off of Facebook. How are you going to deal with so many churches on every corner that keep our communities from bringing in viable businesses that can help our tax base? Mr. Woodruff, the church man. What's up?
That's one thing I would love to sit down with all the pastors in our ward and see how we can come together. Maybe we can create different partnerships throughout our churches, but because we do have quite a few churches in the 24th ward, and I would love to sit down with them so we can do more to enhance our community.
Okay. Ms. Boyce?
Well, in visiting churches every Sunday, I see a lot. I see so much blightedness within the churches. I see they're historic landmarks and they need rehabilitating. And I collectively would meet with the pastors on a regular basis to see how we can unify. Do we need churches on every corner? What we need is effective faith-based leadership that's working on behalf of the people to change the trajectory of things that's happening in our community.
I'm going to come back to you now, Mr. Goldsmith.
So the answer to that, I believe, is Vitris just hit on it, which is unification of the churches. So as an alderman, I would actually advocate, or should I say, bring together the churches collectively so that they can actually start youth programs if they haven't, or they can participate, initiate their own, and see what their community needs are as well. So that because we're, like I said, more unified, we can get a lot more done.
So I'm a jump into this question a little bit more.
Yes, sir.
And I'll rely on some of my personal experience. When I was the chief of staff in the 18th ward, there was a ban on churches being opened on any commercial strip. It was also a ban on beauty shops and barber shops being opened on the traditional commercial corridors. The churches were banned because, and oftentimes when I talk to other legislators, and we've actually had conversations about places like the 24th Ward, because your commercial corridors are so deprived of commercial, the churches are able to move into those places in the prime locations, but they also destroy the tax base because they don't pay taxes. Mm-hmm. And so by not paying taxes, then your commercial corridors become littered. And I don't want to say churches are littered, but they become littered because they're in the prime locations that then would bring businesses that would then allow you to fix the sidewalks and have the tax base. And so one of the things I do think that you might want to consider, and I think that's the genesis of this question, is not so much the unification of churches, but a policy as it relates to how you're going to deal with churches, because obviously churches are, they're influential in the political space and everybody bows down to the church, but essentially they destroy your tax base because they get the prime real estate, they put the church on the corner, and now I can't open nothing in the stores, et cetera. So I just think that that's something that you all should think about as a policy as to how you'll deal with it. I know it'll put the churches in uproar, but I do think you should think about it, Drew.
In the same vein, I read the question, or should I say, I received the question as the existing churches, not actually new ones coming in.
Same. No, I think you're right, but I think also, like, if the church, that is how the question did, and I think I wanted to interject a little bit because as you all start to think about, right, these pastors have a tremendous amount of influence, even if they only got 6 members in the church.
They do.
And they got the whole corner, and they got the land, and then they got the Community Development Corporation, and they got 6 members, and you saying, I want to bring economic development to your ward, but if you don't come up with a policy with that, you're going to find yourself in a precarious position. So I just thought I would interject that a little bit, having had that. And beauty and barbershops don't help your commercial strips either, because they're cash businesses, and they really don't pay into the tax base as well. Here's another question from Soul Self-Help off of YouTube. There are so many empty lots on Roosevelt West that looks like a desert in some areas. What are your plans to develop on those lots? Beatrice.
Well, we have quite a few developments already that's on the books in the 24th Ward that's been on there for quite a few years now, not just over the past 8 months. And being an alderman that can advocate to bring more businesses to North Lawndale, including that in the economic development plan holistically, and being able to make sure that we get assistance on every level to make sure that those businesses stay there and not that they rob us of our dollars and leave. So more businesses is definitely necessary in the 24th Ward on Roosevelt and 16th Street.
Drew? Yes, and again, strategic planning. There are developments that are on the books, as well as, like I said, just trying to help them and nurture them into the community. And that's one of the highlights of the 24th Ward as well. So you can see that as a negative, but at the same time, you can see it as a positive because we have mad opportunity.
Okay.
Yeah, the possibilities, also what they said. But with that, that's when you could bring in different trade programs again, and we can teach our youth how to build on those empty lots. And Roosevelt is not the only area in our ward that has vacant lots. Right now, I think we have a total of 3,000 plus vacant lots in abandoned buildings. So we have enough where we can bring back our youth to encourage them, to teach them how to live a sustainable life through these programs if we can show them how to build on these vacant lots.
Okay. Middle Eastern North Africans. MENA. It's a new group. It's actually not a new group. It is a new group that is seeking to be categorized. A significant amount of the businesses in your communities are owned by Middle Eastern North Africans. Talk to me about how do you create an opportunities for black businesses to thrive in black neighborhoods such as your own. I'll start with you, Mr. Luther Woodruff, and in case you're confused, Middle Eastern North Africans are the owners of typically corner stores, liquor stores, and a lot of the proliferation of not positive things that happen in our communities, but they also prey upon our desperation. Talk to me about how do we bring quality businesses. You talk about food deserts, and we can incorporate the food desert concept into that as well. Talk to me.
Well, here's the thing.
I'll give you 30 seconds.
I would like to talk about what we do have, and which is good. We have the Soul Food Lounge that's on Roosevelt now. That's a new restaurant. Soleil, and then we have the Soul Food Lounge that's on 16th. At this point, the liquor stores are not helping our community. As you drive through our ward, you see individuals slouched over, and we need more mental institutions in our ward. So with the alcohol, all that, I feel like right now we don't need that in our neighborhood.
Okay. Drew?
The overwhelming number of the corner stores, liquor stores, or those that you just described are in a negative. And I'll tell you, me personally, I don't go to them. I don't actually ask, or should I say, I don't encourage anyone to actually frequent those places as well. They mistreat our individuals in the community. And even to the point where if you feel as if you have to come in and barricade yourself and treat, or even on 16th Street, where you actually serve individuals from outside and you don't allow them in, we got a problem. We have a major problem. So you serve me through a door. I don't encourage that, or I will not help endorse that at all.
Ms. Boyce.
As alderman, the unethically practiced businesses must go. I've been instrumental in shutting down an auto repair shop that was stealing cars, and I recently shut down a grocery store that was serving our community poison. And I will go through that community with a fine-tooth comb, and I will remove even more of them. But on top of that, I'm going to also tackle the Neighborhood Opportunity Fund, the Invest Southwest funds, to make sure that the black people that apply for those grants get through the process. I'm an advocate with everything that I needed and couldn't get through. So one of my first priorities is to pull that program down, dissect it, to make sure we cross the finish line with the funding that's due to us, and also those TIF and SPIF programs. Period.
Thank you. All right. Look, I like how y'all stretch those periods out. We actually have a call, but we're going to come to that in a minute. Tell me about your staffing priorities as an alderman. You get 3 staff.
You get what?
You get 3 staff members until you become until you get a committee. Mm-hmm. Tell me how you prioritize those 3 staff members in your office. People talk a lot about all of the people that they're going to do and all the things that they're going to have, but you got 3. So what are the 3 priority staff positions that will happen in your office? And I will start with you, Ms. Boyce.
Well, I mean, it's coming out of corporate. I understand what it feels like to have a team that's effective, a professional team. And that's something we haven't had in the 24th Ward. So chief of staff has to be someone that's politically educated, that knows the process and the landscape. I need someone that can deal with constituency services, that can handle the removal of garbage, needed garbage cans. And I need someone that can fill in when I'm not there, that can speak to the people, customer service oriented, just an overall office that operates like a well-oiled machine that can deal with every element and aspect that needs to be handled within the 24th Ward.
Mr. Goldsmith.
Community relations engagement.
Okay.
To draw together block clubs and things of that nature, identifying who the leaders are and pumping information out, which we definitely do without. Cleaning up the ward, so a ward superintendent that actually truly cares for our community, that is hit or ears to the ground, making things happen. And I would also say a chief of staff as well. That, like I said, someone who customer service, customer friendly, who very professional, who is going to get back to you.
All right.
18 years, City of Chicago, streets and sanitation. You got to have the relationship. And I would say this, chief of staff, everything they said, but also you have to get out there. As the alderman, you have to drive the ward. You have to see what the ward needs. You need your block clubs. You need your precinct captains. And you need to drive around to see what's truly needed in your neighborhood, because some areas, are worse off than others. So I feel it's your job to get out there along with your team.
Okay. I'm going to start with you on this side. Mr. Woodruff,
yes.
Why did you apply for the appointment? Did all of you all apply to be appointed in the aldermanic race?
I did.
Yes.
Did you?
Yes.
Why didn't you get appointed? 10 seconds.
I'm not sure, honestly.
Okay, that's a fair answer. Mr. Goldsmith, why didn't you get appointed?
The Chicago machine.
Okay. Ms. Boyce, why didn't you get appointed?
I was told by Alderman Michael Scott that if he ever stepped down, that I would be the best person for this job. But when I applied for it, he had to come and talk to me to say that his sister stressed interest. And so due to the nepotism that has existed in the city of Chicago politically, that is why they control the process, and the voters need to take control of that process.
The Chicago machine.
So let me jump in, because you know how I feel about this whole conversation of the Chicago machine. The Chicago machine does not exist in the effort that people talk about, right? I think that there's a big thing about Mayor Daley and kind of that whole machine. The reality is there is not really a political infrastructure that exists. Our political infrastructure has been degraded tremendously. I think what is in the case is the appointment process, which goes through the committeemen. Understanding that the appointments and the political power of the ward, the votes at the board, the endorsements, all would be still handled by the committeemen. How would you envision yourself working with the current committeeman if you were elected alderman, recognizing that he appointed his sister? I'll start with you.
I'm sorry. I was just completely thrown. Can you re-ask that question, please?
Recognizing that the political power in the ward is controlled by the committeemen.
Yes.
How would you envision yourself working with the current committeemen if you were elected alderman?
I'm sure that would be a tall task. At the same time, I'm about relationship building. I can work with anyone, and I'm not afraid to have the hard relationships as well, and it takes a negotiation. So at the end of the day, there's always truth, law, respect for what the individuals want, and meaning taking collective ideas from our community.
Okay.
True, authentic.
Beatrice Boyce.
The plan is to unseat the current committeeman. That family has had too much power over our ward for too long. I can't see a working relationship there at all. We need to change that.
And Mr. Woodruff, your thoughts, please.
My answer is the same. When you've been fake threatened, it's hard to work.
Pardon?
Yes, threats, bullying, all types of
yeah,
tactics.
it's hard to work with an individual like that. So I agree with Ms. Beatrice. that individual need to be replaced.
Okay, I gotta expound. We gotta expound.
So your question was, how would you work with him?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so wait, threats and bullying. Can somebody? No, not a minute. I just would like to. You said you've been threatened and bullied in this space. You said you've been threatened and bullied in this space.
I have not.
You have not. Mr. Woodruff, can you highlight how you feel like you've been threatened and bullied in this race?
Just simply told, basically, we're going to check everything. You don't know what you're doing. Why are you running? Just little tasks that they've been trying to, put on some of the candidates to, waiver them off.
Okay. Ms. Boyce, you've been threatened and bullied. Who can threaten or bully you, Ms. Boyce? I done known you for a very long time. How you been threatened and bullied?
I've been threatened, but bullying is not who I am. I would not tolerate it. I'm a stand-up person. I stand up for myself, and everybody knows that. However, that doesn't stop them from bullying people that support me, calling them, asking them to stay out of the election, don't come over in the 24th Ward. Who do you think you are? So, no, I'm not to be bullied, but people around me that supports me have gotten phone calls and visits to not support me.
Okay. Chicago politics, boys.
I agree.
It still ain't the machine, though, because the machine would have took your jobs. They would have been like, you're a fireman, you're fired, right? Back in the day.
There has been interference run through.
Oh.
There has been interference. Now, I cannot peg that on one in particular person or an entity, but there has been interference.
There's a lot that goes on in 24th Ward during this election that the people really need to know about. I mean, it really needs to be talked about collectively.
So I'm going to let you talk about it when you get your close. Because we got a certain group, so I'm going to let y'all have a 2-minute close. There's a high propensity of grassroots community organizations, the streets, in the 24th Ward.
Mm-hmm.
Matter of fact, I know a bunch of the streets in the 24th Ward. How do you envision recognizing the entrenched nature? Didn't somebody say K-Town?
Yes.
So recognizing the entrenched nature of our long-term grassroots organizations that have a significant level of influence in the 24th Ward, how would you envision yourself working or managing that relationship? Mr. Woodruff, I'll start with you.
It goes back to communication and being transparent and bringing awareness. Our kids that's out here, a lot of them don't want to be out here. We have 12 and 13-year-olds that are stealing cars. When I was 12 and 13-year-olds, I was just maybe trying to get a kiss at the most. But now, because of social media and the lack of programs, the lack of resources, the lack of economics in our ward, kids are doing whatever they want to do. So you have to be able to have a backbone and sit down with these leaders to let them know this is what we need and this is how it's going to be.
Okay. Ms. Boyce.
Mays, I'm one of those candidates that can sit in the boardroom. I can sit at the table with the President of the United States, but I can also sit at the table with the chiefs of the community. We cannot omit that. They're part of the fabric that makes up our community. And so the key thing is to have a relationship to show them a different path, a better way to do things, to keep them out of federal prison and to keep them gainfully employed so that their programs are successfully ran and bring forth resources that can assist them. But relationship building.
Mr. Goldsmith.
I wish you would have asked me that first because that's what I would have said. But in the same sense.
You can say it.
She's absolutely correct. It's developing relationships. And with that being said, at the end of the day, we all want the same thing. We want to live comfortably. We want our families to thrive. So as long as individuals know what their concerns are and that you're going to fight and advocate for them, more than likely the doors are open. You have very little resistance, but they have to truly feel as if you, or should I say know, that you are in it for them.
Okay.
And Mace, can I just piggyback off of that?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. 16th Street is a prime example of how I'm able to be the glue that bring all of us together. When I first moved there was a lot going on 16th Street. I have a beauty supply store there. But if you look at 16th Street now, it's a completely different element. You don't see the hanging out. A lot of the young guys that stood out there, we assist them to get jobs. We spoke with them. We would pull them in the store and provide them other opportunities. So we've done that. When we will continue to do that in the 24th Ward holistically, not just up 16th Street, but up Roosevelt as well, to give people another option.
All right, I'm going to do this real quick. So, y'all West Side born and raised?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. Luther, what high school did you go to?
Providence St. Mel.
Providence St. Mel.
At Providence
Drew
St. Mel, we believe.
Hey, man,
Okay.
Providence St. Mel.
Right.
Okay, Drew one Goldsmith.
Foreman,
Where's that?
Belmont and Claire.
Is it still there?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
My dad pushed me out of the community. He said, "No, I want you to go elsewhere."
Okay. Beatrice Boyce.
Mace, I went to Marshall High School.
Marshall, the commando?
Yes, my children and my family, all my nieces graduated from Fraser, Herzl, North Lawndale College Prep, and Collins. So we're real diehard North Lawndale residents.
All right. Okay. Now let me ask. I'm gonna go this another simple one. We'll start with you, Miss Boyce. What's the last book you read?
Well, I actually just read the article on
book, not article.
Okay,
book.
the book on the contracts. I can't think of the name of it, but it's the contracts that took place in the 24th Ward during the migration of slaves to the North Lawndale area. How the professional entity, the legal aspect, and the real estate aspect of it just took advantage of blacks during that real estate market, and how there was a Caucasian attorney that came to the ward to help reverse that. I can't think of the name of it, but that was the last book that I read.
Okay, it wasn't Fire on the Prairie.
What was it?
Not Fire on the Prairie.
No.
All right, and it wasn't American Pharaoh.
No.
Okay, because there's a big chunk of that in that book. All right, Drew.
Last book that I have that I'm currently still in the process of reading
That's
is
fine.
the Bible.
I knew you was gonna say that. All right, outside of the Bible.
It was the book by Van Zandt.
Ilyana Van Zandt.
Giovanna Van Zandt.
What your mama name is? No, just play. All right, so I'm gonna let you think about that. Luther Woodruff, last book you read.
Does Audible count?
You newfangled millennials. Yeah, sure. You
last
ain't got to read the book to you, but go ahead.
The last book I read was Will by Will Smith. And it was an awesome.
Was this before or after the slap?
This was before the slap.
Okay. Anything change after the slap?
The book was great.
Okay.
Yeah, the book was
All
great.
right. Let me come back. Tell me, who is your political inspiration?
My political inspiration would be Harold Washington.
Okay.
As a kid, seeing him in the parade, on TV, it inspired us. And then I had a chance to go to the inauguration for President Obama, walking the streets with Patti LaBelle, just seeing that as a black man, seeing our first black president, it was very inspirational.
It was inspirational. And
It was.
turned out to be just.
It was. It was cold.
It was cold. I was out there. It was inspirational, but it did. Drew.
Just to go differently, I would almost echo that one, but Harold Washington. And I said that because of my grandmother was very entrenched in unifying our community, or should I say our block for the most part, and just to know how he rose up and through and pulled individuals together, as well as he enacted a lot of great things, especially even with the fire department, that since his death has actually left us wayside and we're still left us fighting.
Thank you. Ms. Boyce.
I like Harold Washington, but my most recent political inspiration was Alderman Roderick Sawyer, the way he took reparations by the hand. And even though it was not very popular amongst city council members, he actually lobbied the bill. And without him, we could not have gotten that bill passed. And then Rita Mayfield and State Representative Will Davis on the state level. So currently, I would say that those three.
I would just for historical purposes, right? I would just like to also make sure that we do not forget the memory of Mr. Richard Barnett.
Oh, yes.
I think that when you think about Mr. Richard Barnett and you talk about, everybody talks about Harold Washington and all of that, but Mr. Barnett was instrumental not only in Harold Washington get elected, but all of the independent black candidates. Was a political expert, a guru that I think there are people in this room who benefited from his knowledge. So I just thought that it was interesting, and I would love to make sure that we keep the memory of Mr. Richard Barnett, because that is, quite frankly, I always thought he was a Southsider until I came out west and dropped him off one time, and I was like, wait a minute. And he was a resident of the 24th Ward, right? So
they're renovating his place right now. Someone just bought it, and they're currently renovating.
Historical. So I don't want to forget Mr. Barnett in that space. Look, y'all, we are running up against the clock, so we're about to run out of time. I think we got somebody on the phone. I'm going to come back to that guy in a hot minute. Let me come back to this question. Who would be, in your estimation, your most effective community partner? Who do you believe is the most effective community partner that you'd like to build a relationship with in the 24th Ward to make it better? Beatrice.
Wow. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head.
Okay. Mr. Goldsmith?
I would just echo back to our ministry is very powerful.
Okay.
And I'm very thankful that we have a working relationship, and I hope and pray that the outsiders, the naysayers that you're saying, that the mixed individuals or the naysayers, as I talked about, would open themselves up and investigate and get involved so that they can reap the benefits as well. Okay. Because my job is to actually spread that law.
Okay. Mr. Woodruff.
Again, I would say the faith-based ministries, the faith-based communities in our ward, very important. My background is church. I've been in church all my life. And I feel like with that, if we can get everyone in unity, we can make our ward a much better place.
So I got to come to you because you're a church guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
In politics, the choices are not always between right and wrong. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they are between wrong and wronger. How do you balance your Christian beliefs with the fact that you may have to make moral decisions that don't necessarily align with Christianity? Let's take, for instance, abortion or, the abortion protection. I don't know where you sit on that, but talk to me about how you manage your Christian beliefs with the fact that you may have to make decisions that don't necessarily align.
Well, here's the thing. When my youngest son, London, was born, I almost lost my wife on the table. And with that being said, women should have the right to make their own choices. So you got to know how to separate the two. And I like to be honest. I like to be transparent. Women should have the right to make their own decision.
Okay.
That's why I stand on that.
All right. I'm going to let it stop right there. Day one, first day, got the keys to the office. Go sit in your chair. You done been sworn in, whoever the mayor is. Didn't turn around and curse you out.
Okay.
But you go in, you got your staff, your squad, y'all have y'all first meeting. What is the first thing that you plan to accomplish in office? Beatrice M. Boyce.
The first thing I want my staff to get working on is to build a 24th Ward political organization, precinct council, men and women from each precinct. After that, I want to build my base of supporters in city council. I want to make sure that I have enough council members that's riding with me so that we can help move the 24th Ward forward. So I hope this election pick more progressive aldermen for the 24th Ward. And at that point, we'll pick a location and we will go to work.
Okay. Mr. Drew One.
One of the very first things that is essential, I believe, which is right beside my ward superintendent, is community engagement. So we have to get out there and pump out information. One, so that individuals know who their alderperson is, their alderman is, as well as, again, letting them know that you have someone in office now who is truly concerned. Bring your complaints, bring your ideas to the table so that we can actually propel our ward in a different direction.
First day, sitting down with my team so we can go through the baggage that was left from the previous administration. Then we're hitting the streets. You know, my goal is to continue to knock on doors because you need to know what the people need. And then we're going to clean up streets and sanitation, continue that relationship to make sure we come in and to beautify our neighborhood so we can look just like every other neighborhood that's up north.
There it is. All right, I think we got you. Go ahead. I'll let you come back.
I'm gonna challenge you, Maze. When you get
challenging me,
yes.
Lord.
When you have an opportunity, get on the Eisenhower. Get off on either Independence or Costner.
Do it all the time. But go ahead.
When you get back on the expressway, get back on either Independence, Costner, Independence, or California. The nastiness that you see that we're greeted with is embarrassing. So when you constantly hear us speaking on cleaning up the ward, that's not just a pie in the sky or just something grandiose to talk about. We have a problem, a big problem. And when that problem was brought up in a last forum, and when you can state that, oh, well, the highways don't belong to us, we don't need that. We need individuals who actually want to be concerned, or like I said, who wants to tackle the problems. So I challenge you to actually you say you do.
So I do it all the time. So I live off of Western, so I usually take in 290, I got to go see Big Swill. And then, so I get, Independence is always my exit. So it's that little Polish stand right there. And then you go a little bit further down, and it's the BPM code where everybody get robbed. Then it's the
my church over there, by the way.
I've been to your church too, right?
Awesome.
Because as on the campaign trail. So I recognize that. But I'll accept that challenge. And I think there's a lot of different groups that have taken that on, and you should engage that group. Miss Boyce, day one. Did I do you already?
I did my day one.
All right, there it is. So I got everybody on day one. All right, is Cassandra on the phone? All right, so let me get Cassandra's call. Live on the line is Miss Cassandra Matz. She has a question. She's calling in, and then we're going to give everybody the opportunity to make a closing statement. And apparently, one of the other candidates is on the live line. He didn't make it in, but I think now he wants to jump on in. I think y'all might have spoke him up, right? Talking about he's going to get a job after this thing was over. So we'll probably be talking to Mr. Ward in a minute as well. But Cassandra Matz, please.
Good morning, Maze. Good morning, candidates. As Maze said, I am Cassandra J. Matz, a proud active member of What's in It for the Black People First Party, as well as I am an advocate for BCO, Black Contractors, Owners, and Executives. A couple of times you guys mentioned the reparations as well as Invest Southwest. What I like to hear from each candidate, not what you're going to do when you get into the office, because I didn't pose my question correctly the last couple of times. I need to know, what have you guys done now to advocate for Black contractors, because they are disinvested? Please answer that precisely. Thank you.
Cassandra don't be playing. So we're going to start with Luther. We'll come to Drew, and then we'll give Beatrice the last, and then we're going to come back and give everybody an opportunity to do a close.
Well, I'm not a politician. Just decided to run because I wanted more for my ward. Haven't had a chance to really meet with contractors at this moment. So unfortunately, I can't answer that question because I haven't had a chance to work with contractors because I'm just getting involved into running for alderman. So I can't answer that question at the moment.
Okay, I'll take that. Drew?
I like the question because I am a general contractor, worked as a general contractor. Again, if you look at Ogden Avenue, majority of those buildings that we speak on in the ministry, I have helped develop either firsthand.
You got paid?
And got paid, yes. So as a director of facility there. So I believe, to answer a question, I believe in-house first. I always farmed out our jobs in-house first. We need to we have contractors within the 24th Ward. So from the 24th Ward, we start branching out. And if I can keep all of them Black, the more, the better.
Thank you. Ms. Boyce?
Well, Maze, I have a long history of helping African-American contractors get access to their City of Chicago contractor's license, their minority certifications. I've helped organizations get their 501c3. I've helped several businesses complete their neighborhood opportunity fund applications, as well as the investment program. applications. And currently I'm working with a company now that's actually frustrated with the process as it relates to replacing the lead pipes in the city of Chicago. They're afraid that this whole contract is too bundled and it'll go to one contractor. So now I'm assisting them to reach out to aldermen to unbundle that contract so that more African Americans can get access. That's a $300 million project for over 20 years.
And 20 years to get our lead pipes replaced. It's going to be a lot of dead people in the meantime.
Yeah.
Let me, this was interesting, and then we're going to move to, we'll do the closing statements, and we'll also let Mr. Ward speak. I hear this, and I've heard this across every single debate that we've had. I'm not a politician. I'm not bossed. I'm not bought. I'm not bossed. I'm not a politician. I'm not a politician.
Mm-hmm.
So why do we want to elect you to be a politician if you ain't a politician? Like, if you're not what you're seeking to be, why should we elect you to be what you disdain? I'll start with you, Mr. Drew.
I believe the consensus in that statement would be when we normally hear about a politician, it's normally something negative behind it. Status quo, the machine. You're just going to go with the flow. You're going to drink the Kool-Aid, so on and so forth. So it's to establish oneself as different. I'm not in it for the machine. I actually plan on throwing a wrench into the machine to actually, because it's not working for us. It hasn't worked for us. If it did, we wouldn't be in the situation that we're in.
Okay.
If you can see, I have on black and white today. Normally in a black church, that's an usher. I'm a servant. I didn't grow up in politics, come from a union background. But my goal is to just serve the people. What we have in office now has not been working, as he stated. I just want to help our people do better and see better and push our people to do better and to dream and to give them a quality of lifestyle that every human deserves in North America.
Okay. Ms. Boyce.
Well, Maze, I feel like I am a politician because I get treated like one. I get calls from people for constituency services and a whole variety of things. I'm working to become a politician because that's what an alderman is, but an independent politician, one that is not controlled. Nobody's dangling my strings. Nobody can control me because they put a lump sum of money on my D2s, on my books, but an independent politician reflective of the people, someone that can finally get things done.
Okay. Look, y'all, this has been robust. So let's do this. Before we go into the closing statements, I want to tell the studio audience, everybody in here, I think this has been a great debate, great opportunity. I think we should give the candidates a big round of applause for the way that they've carried themselves. And I did say I was going to close, but I saw a good one pop up, and I'm going to hit this one. What will you all do to close the heroin highway? And do you support safe injection sites in the 24th Ward? How do you close the heroin highway, and do you support safe injection sites, which is being sponsored currently by State Representative LaShawn Ford, for heroin addicts to have? There are actually safe consumption sites already. They're mobile, but they are talking about making it legal. Talk to me about those two things, because we know that the heroin highway rolls straight through the 24th Ward. Talk to me about it, and then talk to me about the concept of the safe injection sites. Would you support it in the 24th Ward? Then we'll get to close. We'll start with you, Beatrice.
Yeah, I will support it. I had a niece that died on Roosevelt Road last year, and had she had gotten help with that injection, she probably would be living today. And I also spoke with a young lady that also has a facility in our area, but she needs more funding to stay open. And we can save lives if we had a safe injection site. I know that through my personal experience with my family. And how do we close it? We have so
Heroin
many.
highway.
The heroin highway. How do we close it? We have so many violence prevention programs that's out here getting money. We got to work collectively together to figure out how we move that dial out of our community.
Mr. Drew.
We deal with heroin all the time. Again, I'm a Chicago fireman, 22 years, and 18 of those years on Pulaski and Madison. So I've seen my fair share of ODs, some who've passed away, some who we've revived. So a safe place to actually do it in, just to make sure that they can be revived, I can take that. I can do that. I can support that. In the same sense, we definitely need to open up avenues for avoiding it as well. And again, back to jobs. What drives individuals to heroin is usually just the opposite.
Thank you.
I do support it. As I say, I drive through alleys every single day, and I see it all day. I see when the drug lines open up, and they're halfway down the alley. We have to bring more programs, rehabilitation for these individuals. So I do support it, and we got to make sure we fund the programs that are in our ward now.
Okay. That has been, that will be the last question. I am going to, we have on the live line one of the other candidates. So here's my deal, right? Like, if you didn't come, you ain't going to get the same perks and the same benefits as the people who came. But what I do want to do is make sure that, as I've always said, that this is a platform for black folks. There's not a lot of places where black people can come speak their truth.
True.
So what I am going to do is open up the phone lines for Mr. Ward. And Mr. Ward, I'm going to give you 1 minute to just make your pitch, your appeal, and then we're going to hang up on you. But you get 1 minute because we do definitely want to make sure that everybody has an option to speak here. We would have preferred to have you in the studio. But Mr. Ward, welcome to the Mays Jackson Show. How are you? Mr. Ward? Mr. Ward, you're on the line.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Great. Actually, I don't need 1 minute. 1 minute is probably too long to say what I got to say. First of all, it's an honor to be online, on the phone or what have you. I've been listening to some of the other candidates, and let me tell you, first things first, I think that any of these candidates, including myself, would be a better choice than the choice that we got right now, because the political gatekeeping is absolutely ridiculous. Okay? Yeah. Anything you want to ask me within the 30 seconds that I got left?
I don't got a question. You got 30 seconds to tell your story. We asked all the questions we going to ask. I just want to make sure we gave you an opportunity to tell people who you are, why you're running, and what number you got. You got 30 seconds left.
Okay. With the 22 seconds I got left, I'm Edward Ward. I was born and raised on the west side of Chicago, went to Orr High School. A lot of my work has always been around advocacy. When you talk about the notion of being a politician, I am a politician. I'm just not an elected politician. And I believe that we have got to put community first. Anytime we have a family in office that brags about having a silver spoon in their mouth, but you're bragging to a community that is constantly, time and time again, had issues when it comes to economics in their communities, those folks don't need to be in office. And then you have a bully who was once in office, now his sister's in office, and I'm pretty sure she's going to be a bully and mismanaging a bunch of resources in office. I think that family alone has got to go, and I believe moving forward, I will be the best fit for the position.
All right, Mr. Ward, you packed that in a short amount of time. Next time you should come through. It sounded like you would have been an exciting addition to our conversation. Thank you, Mr. Ward. That is Mr. Edward Ward?
Edward Ward, yes.
Edward Ward. He is also a candidate for alderman in the 24th Ward. So thank you for your call. Anybody else on the line? That's it. All right, so here's how we're going to do. We are going to give did I tell them I was going to give them one or two? Yeah, let's give them one. They need one. What is that I smell? Is that breakfast? Hold on. Y'all got breakfast from Peaches in here and didn't nobody tell me? That smell like some peach compote with some biscuits, some eggs, some bacon. I hope they didn't bring no turkey bacon up in here. So it looks like we're going to have a little breakfast post. We're going to have a post-show candidate reception where y'all can meet and greet and talk to the candidates, etc. But in the meantime, we are going to wrap this thing up with we're going to do a compromise. Do 1:30. Do 1:30. 1 minute and 30 seconds. If you don't need to take it all, don't take it all. But we'll start with you, Mr. Woodruff. We'll come to you, Mr. Goldsmith, and then we will close it out with Ms. Beatrice Boyce. Mr. Luther Woodruff, you have 1 minute and 30 seconds to make your elevator pitch as to why you should be the next alderman of the 24th Ward. You ready, Zabiola? On your mark, get set, go!
Go. Thank you, Mace. Thank you. What's in it for the black people? Restore, rebuild, and reconnect. That's my motto for the community. Like I said, I grew up in the ward, been there 42 years. I've seen good, I've seen bad. I've seen gentrification come into our neighborhood that truly did not benefit us. So I want to run to make sure that we clean up our ward, we bring the proper resources that we need for our ward. Make sure that we have the trade programs that's been since day one I decided to run. Bring back the trade programs because my father participated in the trade program at Coyne School, and it taught him different elements of how to work through the house. A couple weeks ago, one of my buildings, pipes burst, had to call a plumber. You always need an electrician. So I'm running to restore hope in our community, rebuild our neighborhoods, and reconnect our community. Punch 53, Luther Woodruff.
All right, Mr. Woodruff. And he did that under a minute and 30 seconds. You ready, boss lady? All right. On your mark, Drew 1, you are now up. On your mark, get set, go.
Thank you again for allowing me to come here. Again, I want to start off by thanking my family, especially my wife, who's been with me step by step. I am Drew 1 Goldsmith, third-generation resident of Lawndale. And again, my heart, my passion, my soul is for my community. I've been involved since day one of walking, and I will continue until I retire to another life. Our community is in desperate need of change, of true advocacy, individuals who actually have a true heart and a passion to change our ward for the better. As a general contractor, I've worked with contractors. I consider myself a tradesman myself. 22 years on the Chicago Fire Department, 6 years in the Marine Corps, and I'm a veteran. I have a life of service. So our ward needs a servant, someone who truly cares and takes a pulse of our community.
Thank you. That was Mr. Drew 1 Goldsmith. And we will close with Miss Beatrice Boyce. Reese, we not ending the show because we still got to do Tell Me Something Good. But Miss Beatrice Boyce, and y'all stay right there because y'all going to have to tell us something good. We got to do our segment. Miss Boyce.
Yes.
It's on you. 1 minute, 30 seconds.
I want to first say that my punch number is 54 and that it's time for the 24th Ward to move forward. I'm here because I'm consistent, I'm persistent, and I am qualified to do this job. I'm the only candidate in the entire city of Chicago that is running that has pushed the most important legislation as it relates to African Americans across the city of Chicago. So this election is for the 24th Ward, but it's also for this entire city. The legislation is currently just sitting in city council. No alderman is touching it. But day one coming in, first council meeting, Health and Human Resources Committee is where that legislation is sitting. We need to put some meat and potatoes. We need to catch up with California. We need to demand that we sit down and we write the check to the residents in the city of Chicago. There are 5 components to legislation: compensation, restitution, rehabilitation, satisfaction, and guarantee. And I am that candidate that would do that for the 24th Ward and for the entire city of Chicago. We can no longer allow nepotism to rule us in the 24th Ward. We've paid homage and patronage to the family that is currently in power. Now it's time for us to collectively come together and build our ward economically, and I am the candidate to do that. A third time around, I'm not a glutton for punishment, but I am ready to move the dial forward in the 24th Ward so that we can become economically stable as a unit, one body, 19 precinct councils, and the most world-renowned political ward office. Thank you.
You got a lot in 30 and a minute and 30 seconds. Let me again commend you all. I think that one of the things that we look around a lot of times, I've been in political debates, and I have seen so many quality people and so many quality candidates who I think, even if you are not elected, right? Even if you are not elected, and Beatrice, we've seen this from you. Mr. Goldsmith, Mr. Woodruff, I hope to see and to talk to you all more, regardless of how this thing turns out. But you all need to continue to be consistent participants in your community, because I think that your ward would be served well by all of you, right? And I don't think that you have to be the elected official to be the servant, to be a servant. I often hear people say, I want to be elected because I want to serve. I'm going to be honest with you. I'd be like, yeah, I know you do. But there's also a component to being an elected official, which you put yourself out on the front. It requires some ego. It requires some confidence. It requires a lot of chutzpah that people don't always want to talk about, but is required of the space. But I must tell you, you all have all presented well today. I'm grateful for you all being here. and I'm thankful. So with that in mind, Reese, where my song at though? Because that's what I really want to do. We are about to thank y'all. Give a big round of applause to the candidates right here. Y'all stay right there because it's time for, on Fridays we do a thing, and it's called Tell Me Something Good. And so every day on Friday at the close of our show, I sing, tell me something good. Wow, wow. That's my favorite part. When we go, wow, wow. Tell me that you love me. Yeah. Hey, y'all, this is the Mace Jackson Show. Hey, Mr. Drew, why you making that face? You don't like my singing or something, dog? Let me tell you, I don't be making fun of my singing now.
I have heard better.
That's because, look, my daddy was a preacher, and in the church choir, that when your daddy the preacher, you supposed to be the star. They was like, you should join the usher board. Right?
What?
I ain't never get.
What happened?
They heard my singing, right? So I didn't get to sing in the church choir. I had to be on the usher board, and I think I might have been on usher board number 2.
Okay. God.
Right, I got demoted. They heard me singing, and they was like, keep them far, far, far away. But look, y'all, this is the time every single day, every Friday, where we get together, and we talk about so many things that haven't been gone right or what ain't right. This is the time when we try to talk about something that's happened real good. Now, if anybody in the audience got something they want to tell people good, we'll let you tell it too. But, I usually start this segment off with my man, DJ Riis, the rule on the ones and twos. But Luther got his mic.
Mic check.
Luther, sang, Luther. No, so check this out. We're gonna do. He can sing. He can. When he leave, he about to bust them drums down. So we ain't tripping. But let me say this. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna start with each of the candidates today, and then Reese after Drew. We're gonna start with Drew. Then you go grab his mic, and then you can get yours in. All right, Luther Woodruff Jr.
Yes.
Tell me something good on this Tell Me Something Good Friday.
I've been blessed to be married for 8 years. We could talk about anything, right?
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay. Been blessed to be married 8 years to my wife, Shauna Woodruff. We have 3 kids. I'm actually a grandfather.
Oh, me too.
My daughter's 21, Star, but currently, she's an adult now and she's doing her own thing. Currently, we're raising our 4 and 6-year-old Luther in London, and I have to negotiate with them every night to go to bed at 8:30. And then have to fight with them in the morning. But I just love black love. I love pushing black love. And one thing I do want to implement, regardless of what happens, TLC. And TLC stands for the love campaign. There was an individual that came to my studio, and I'm going to be really quick. There was an individual came to my studio. He was rapping or whatever, and as he was leaving, I said, love you, bro. And he didn't say anything back. And I went to him. I said, what's wrong? He was crying. I said, Why are you crying? He said, I've never heard no one say I love you. So I want to push, and it might start out small, but I want to push the love campaign. But I love black love. I love my wife. She's the elected wife. She's my only wife.
There it is.
That's my good thing.
Hey, man, I like that in you. I like that in you. All right. That's Tell Me Something Good from Luther Woodruff Jr. Reese, get his mic because you got to be ready to go for yours. Drew One Goldsmith. Tell me something good, and I know you're going to tell me something good about your wife, because she was over here like, you better fix his sign. Why is his sign crooked? Nah, that means your wife is looking for you, got your back. But Luther, talk to us. Drew, talk to us. Tell me something good, man.
Yes, I'll start off with my wife.
I knew
my beautiful dove, yes. Yeah, she loves me, I love her, and we can't get enough of each other, so... And again,
How many kids y'all got? No, I'm just playing. Just playing. I'm silly.
There's a total of 4 collectively. But yes, what's happening good. Honestly, I think that this campaign is good. It's sparking more interest. It's bringing people out. It's causing conversation. It's engaging individuals who normally are not engaged. It's giving me the opportunity to engage on a different level. So with that being said, talking with the home, well, should I just say residents? I don't know if they're all of them are homeowners or not. But it's one thing to see individuals and they're skittish and standoffish in the beginning, only to open up once they truly get to understand what your plight is or what my purpose for talking to them. I'm not asking you for anything. It's just gaining information and letting you know that your thought counts. Your idea counts, and we need to actually hear that. So that has been a very wonderful experience that I have encountered, and I love to actually do it. And for correction, when you talk about community engagement, I have been engaged, very much so, and that will not end at the end of this campaign.
Beautiful. That's the big thing I don't want to hear from all y'all. I want to see y'all engaged. Miss Boyce, you up there grinning and skinning and grinning. Tell me something good.
What's good, Maze, is that I'm a happy person, loving person all the time. I extend love wherever I go. And my most greatest accomplishment in life is being a mother. I have 6 wonderful adult children. The youngest is 28. She graduated from U of I.
ILL, baby.
Yes.
Wait, UIC or ILL?
U of I.
There it is. All right, so we
Illinois,
clear.
yes.
ILL in this joint.
Yes, and she just landed her dream job. I have 14 wonderful grandchildren. I have my 3rd grandson that's about to go to college. He's looking at Spelman in Atlanta. And just to watch them grow every day and to watch my children mother their children, it's just special to me. And that's just good news. Every day it wakes me up in the morning and it puts me to sleep peacefully at night. And I just want to mention one person that I had an opportunity to meet this week. And that is Pastor Brooks, someone that I have never talked to. But this man, he's in the North London area, and his background and professionalism and his history of what he's accomplished was just phenomenal. So, black man, I tip my hat to you. I love you. I respect you. I honor you. I love the 24th Ward. That's a good thing. We're a great community, even though we may seem divided at times, but it's a community where great people want to continue to be great and make it even better. So on this Friday, I love life. I love my people. I'm a woman of God, and the Bible says that when the righteous is in authority, the people are blessed and they are rejoiced. And I'm looking to be that righteous individual.
All right,
Thank you.
is Miss Vitra's Boyce. All right. Now look, check this out, y'all. My man done been working. Now, y'all, in case y'all got to give him a break, because, you know, he does triple. Yesterday he did triple duty. He had his kid. He had to do the morning show. Then he had to go make the chicken wings at Bowfield's Barbecue, right? But I tell you what, he show up every day. He be right here. He might be here 1 minute. I think Riis be coming in. He be like, I'm going to be here 1 minute before so he can look at me and he going to hit the, like, because he know I be like 59. I be like, let this music be late. And he be like, 48, 49. But it's my man, DJ Riis, the rule on the ones and twos. Tell us something good today, DJ Riis, the rule on the ones and twos.
Oh, man, as always, the ultimate, man. He woke me up this morning, and everybody can't say that from yesterday. So I'm tired, but you know what? That's also a blessing. I mean, that I'm busy and I'm getting opportunities. So tell me something good. It hasn't happened yet, but I got an email from the lab school that they would tell us about our daughter being accepted, and I think that it will be. So I'm speaking into existence already. So anybody that's in the 5th or 6th ward, I don't know what is in, but you know what I'm saying? You know, I'll let them for me, you know. Nah, but yeah, so that's my tell me something good, man.
Hey, man, you gonna got to get your baby go to the lab school. We gonna have to give Riis a different job. Because that lab school, them kids, you know, you come out of lab, though, you finna be wealthy, rich, and special, right? They got secretaries of education. They got, water reclamation commissioners. They got freaking presidential. They got all type of stuff. They even got a Vince Bass was from lab school, too, man. That's good stuff, Riis. That's good stuff. Y'all know Riis is a good daddy, take care of his kids and his baby. All right, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson, and I got a few tell me something goods real quick. First of all, the What's in It for the Black People endorsements are out. They were published in the Chicago News Weekly paper. So y'all go get it. I ain't going to expose them right here. We're going to do it this weekend, but y'all go check it out. Chicago News Weekly, you pick it up at a location. Shout out to our publisher partner, because this is the first time we had it published in a publication. So shout out to them and everybody that has been endorsed by the What's in It for the Black People family. I got to tell y'all, I got outvoted on some stuff. I don't know how I feel about this democracy. But I trust my people, and it's like it was great to be able to put that together. So the What's in It for the Black People voters guide is out. Also, I want to thank all of the people that participated this week in the candidate debates, right? The reality is we were debating on how we wanted to do this, and we felt like we got a media platform that probably, you go to a debate, you probably ain't got 300 people in the room. Well, we know we got at least 300 to 400 people watching today, so we know that we're able to get the message out. We got people all over the city. They've been calling. So I want to thank all of the candidates. I also want to thank the whole What's in It for the Black People family. I got to thank Desiree. She be knocking on the door. She be like the first one here. She be like, I'm ready. She be go sit on the other side. Zaviola, Regina Gibson, who has been doing all the outreach, getting all the candidates out, like my governmental affairs. We got my man, Andre Smith, candidate for alderman in the 20th Ward. He was so gracious yesterday. When the candidates didn't have a ride, he brought them. He picked them up in his car and brought them here. If y'all missed that, y'all might want to go back and check that out. I see Miss Butler representing she is representing the Washington Park area, but she's also a loyal member of What's in It for the Black People. Now, y'all see in the back corner, I see her. She got some long. I woke up this morning. Her hair was a little longer than it was when I went to sleep. But it is my beautiful and lovely wife, the president of the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, Carrie K. Steele, in the building. Y'all know I'm super proud of her. Look, I got my timekeeper here, Zaviola Coleman, who keep me straight, keep y'all straight, and be like, Maze, if you don't tell me the right numbers to put on these questions. But I got to tell you, I wouldn't have been able to do this without Zaviola, without my whole squad. Did I miss anybody back there? I see my president, Miss Tamiko Holt, in the building as well, West Side resident, sending in questions. How you sending in questions online and you sitting in the building? See, that be the black people for you. That be the black people for you. But I got to tell you, that's my girl in the building as well. All right. Personally, my son, y'all have heard me talk about my son ad nauseum. My son made a big decision this year to transfer out of St. Rita to go to Holy Trinity High School, which is a much smaller, way less resourced school. And I was a little nervous about it, but I must tell you, he played his last high school game on Wednesday. They got whooped. But, like, we made a list of goals at the beginning of the season. As he said he was going to transition to this school, I said, you can do it, but you got to do these things. And when we did our season recap, we looked at it, and he had accomplished all of those goals. So I'm happy to see him making some adult decisions that actually worked out, and we were able to map them out. Tomorrow, I got to send a big shout-out to Kiana Barber and WDB Marketing. Y'all, they got their Legacy Awards. If you have not gotten a ticket, they got a conference that's going on right now. You can check them out online. But that WDB Marketing, their Legacy Awards, I am a Legacy Award recipient tomorrow, so I will be at the joint with my wife and family, and we're going to go grab our award and show some love. It's always wonderful to be acknowledged for your participation. When the lady was talking to me about the interview, it kind of sometimes you don't remember all the iterations of your life, right? You know, I got a big part of my start was on Madison and Pulaski, but it was also in the 24th Ward at George's Music Room, right? And every time I drive past George's Music Room and I look at the state of affairs that it's in now, when you think about what it was and what it meant, when you think about everybody from there was nobody who was anybody that did not stop in the 24th Ward, right? And now you think about that, and it just talks about how far we've come. But I got to say a big shout-out to George's Music Room as well. Election weekend. This is it, man. Like, I got to tell y'all got to get through Saturday. You got to get through today. Probably got an action-packed calendar. If you ain't got an action-packed calendar, make sure you stop by here tonight because the Who's Who will be in the building as we celebrate Alderman David Moore's birthday. But this is the last weekend. I was talking about it's the final countdown. So all of the hard work, all of the energy, all of the effort is going to culminate this weekend, right? And Sunday, you're going to make your church run. Sunday night, you're going to be counting your votes. You're going to be with your team in the room. And that's like part of the fun part. Monday, you're going to get up, but you're going to kind of coast a little bit on Monday because you know Tuesday, you got to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning at the precincts, etc. I got to tell you, I love this part when I ain't in it. Sucks when you in it. But when you ain't in it, this is where all the energy, this is where all of that work comes out. And so I just want to tell you all that regardless of, my wife makes fun of me all the time because I talk smack about the elected officials. She said, why you don't run? Run. Get out there. So anybody, and I be nervous, right? Because I ran one time and I got knocked off the ballot before I got home, and I was not. Think about that, right? All this information I give you, and I spent almost $100,000 prior to even making the ballot. Prior to making the ballot, I filed my petitions. By the time I got home, I had already been challenged, and within 24 hours, I had withdrawn from the race. Crazy because my lawyer was actually Mayor Daley's lawyer at the time, so I thought I had the squad, but really the squad was working against me because they had their own candidate in the race, and so they advised me to file the wrong information, which I filed and was knocked out. But that's why I don't be like, when y'all talk about the game, I done played the game at a very, very high level. But I love this. I love this politics, and I love the fact that people get out there and put yourself out there on the line. How many people have you met? How will this, whether you win or lose, I want you to think about how this will impact your standing, not in the city, not just in the race, but in your community, et cetera. And so I'm super, even if I don't agree with you, right? Even if I don't like you personally, I have tremendous admiration for people that are willing to put themselves on the line. To those of you that have families, acknowledging your family, because your family has to be with you through this. If they ain't with you, it turns into a whole crazy thing. But that's my Tell Me Something Good. I also have tomorrow, don't forget, we got one last candidate debate. It's the 21st Ward. People have been I don't know what's going on in the 21st Ward. People calling me like, yo, what I got to do? Ain't nothing I could do. You can advertise, etc. But I want y'all to tune in tomorrow. And then just think, guys, it starts all over on Tuesday at 9 o'clock. Starts all over again because in all of these races, in y'all race, somebody going to be in a runoff. It's realistic. It's not realistic that y'all going to be able to win it all in one. So it means that this whole thing starts all over again. But it's like Groundhog Day. But let me tell you, that's why we do what we do, because we love it. So with that in mind, I think is all how they do it to church. Deacon, they say all hearts clear. All hearts clear. We would give you an opportunity to come to the altar and, you say this prayer, which, Joe Osteen make you say a prayer. And you say, if you say these words with me, we believe that you have been, but I ain't going to do all that. Because although I am a minister, y'all know I'm ordained, right? Y'all know I'm ordained. So I could actually bless. And if anybody need a wedding or anything else, let me know. We could get it done right here at Obsidian. Also, I want to thank everybody who has come here to Obsidian. Please take a look around. A lot of times we spend a lot of time going down to the Soho House or going to places that have been created for white creativity, for white folks to get together to solve the world's problems. That's what we built this for. Now, it ain't as big because obviously we are under-resourced, as so many of us are. But we hope to see you all back here in this building with us as we solve the world's problems, because clearly y'all got some solutions for a part of the world that we don't always talk about. So with that in mind, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I am your host, Maze Jackson, where every single day I ask the question, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, we out of here. Peace. Y'all make some noise and
Let's
enjoy.
get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Chicago. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to Senate. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And I'm concealed carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.